This episode of the One Piece Podcast is sponsored by Collecticon.com/One Piece, your source for One Piece Mega House merchandise. Visit Collecticon.com today. This is the unofficial One Piece Podcast, episode 311 for the week of Monday, March 31st, 2014. My name is Jose.
My name is Doctor.
And with us on the show tonight, we have a very special guest, translator of the One Piece manga, Stephen Paul. Hey, Stephen.
Hey, what's up, guys? Good to be back again.
Love having you on, man.
Yeah, it's great to have you on the show, as always. And we found these two interesting fellas. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
What? We shouldn't have to introduce ourselves.
We're the hosts.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think about that.
No, I'm a co-host.
I started this podcast 5 years ago.
Guys, like, we appreciate it all.
I
You
can't
guys are
back
just
up.
a bunch of toys that we found, okay?
I can't back up what this guy is saying, but my name is Steve. I'm a co-host.
Look, I don't know who this guy thinks he is, but I started the damn thing.
Yeah, I don't know what Jerry Seinfeld's cackling at over here, but, you know.
Who are you calling Jerry Seinfeld?
Okay,
All right.
toys, fellas, calm down.
Yes,
okay,
no,
we
I'm
got
not a
this
toy.
for you. We got this for you.
Jose, where'd you get these guys?
I don't know, dude. I just found them on the street. They look kind of funny. They said they were One Piece fans. Brought them on board.
Yeah, like the one guy sort of, he looks like one of those old WWF wrestle buddies. Like, you remember that commercial where they're like wrestling with the Ultimate Warrior upstairs? And
If only you could understand the irony here, Stephen. Like, this used to be my shtick. Like, every week I'd tie it in with wrestling because that's what I do.
Wait, that's my shtick.
No, I'm pretty sure that's Steven's shtick. I think you're Doctor's. Really, you're confusing
more my
yourself with
shtick.
either.
No. It used to be me and Doctor because we're the wrestling fans, and Ed too. I actually know Ed.
Doctor,
know
have
Ed?
you met this guy?
You don't know Ed.
I know Ed.
this is kind of creeping
Look,
me
I
out.
went to
Not Ed,
college
you know
with
this
Ed.
guy, this Steven guy, or Steve guy.
Yeah.
Wait,
You
now
got
there's
some-
two
I'm Steve.
Steves?
I'm Steve. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
No.
Yeah, there's always been one Steven.
This is very
Yeah.
confusing.
No, but
It's
like,
very
if it calls me
confusing.
Steve, it's fine, even though
Isn't that going to get confusing? There's going to be two Steves on the show?
I know, seriously.
there never
You know,
was before. And besides, I'm
we
like a toy now.
You know, we only need the translator. We could probably boot the other one off.
No,
we don't
no.
need
And he's kinda rude.
No, I totally proved my worth on the
No,
show.
you know what?
And
I
he
agree. I
steals
think you
jokes from
should.
Doctor.
No, damn it. Let me.
Yeah, and I'm the man of 1,000 voices here. I don't know why he's trying to steal my crap.
I don't get it, man. Anyways,
That's not exactly what I did, but I totally did a lot of important things on the show.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I think I
But
would
I don't even
remember.
care.
if you
Hold
did.
on, I could do this. I could totally explain.
no, you can't. Anyways, look, on the upcoming show, we
Oh.
have a lot of fun stuff coming up, such as the Manga Recap for chapters 742, and as well as piece together the Toonami Recap and the Anime Recap. And, of course, we're going to be going into news very soon. What do you say, guys? Why don't we get right into it, and the toys can calm down a little bit?
Wait, what? No, this is my thing.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
No, don't make me be the person that says let's do it. Don't.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
guys,
Well,
let's do it.
Let's do it.
I drew strips by Steve.
Today's episode of the One Piece Podcast is sponsored by Collecticon at Collecticon.com/One Piece, your source for One Piece Mega House merchandise. Now, Steve, I don't know who you are, but we're both toys, so I think we can appreciate other toys and merchandise.
Well, I don't know how much you could appreciate these toys. I mean, they don't talk. They're not living beings that, had a life prior to this sad, lonely life as a toy.
Hey, look, they could.
But they do look really cool.
Now, when I was at Anime Boston, I think I saw the Luffy figure, and it was double the price as it is on Collecticon, which is
I think you sent me a picture of the films at Sanji.
It was Sanji, that was it.
What was the price? $140?
Yeah.
How much is it on Collecticon? $69.95.
Hey, and it's in stock. That's pretty awesome.
And I ran into somebody at Anime Boston who said, "Hey, I'm just going to listen to you guys and buy it from Collecticon.
Yeah, we
So-
did see that.
Continue listening to us and just buy it from Collecticon.
Listen to us. I mean, I know a lot of the figures are sold out, but you'll never know which ones will be in stock again. But what more can we say? 140, $69.95.
Okay, so go to collecticon.com/One Piece and enjoy those POPs. Let's go on into the podcast. I guess, Jose, you're the one who should.
Yeah, I got this. No, you guys did a really good job. It's like
Thank
you've done
you.
this before.
Yay!
This is so
Might keep you
bullshit.
guys around.
Okay.
Not going to sell you on Collecticon, though. I don't think you would sell very well.
Hey, I'm a good toy. I'm a great.
Yeah, I don't think we need to give kids nightmares. This is the manga recap for chapter 742, Ever at Your Side. What do we have on the cover page, Doctor?
Well,
Oh, we got
that-
we got Robin.
I
yeah,
said Doctor.
but
Yeah. Dude,
no,
like-
I when Ed's not here, I'm the one that does this.
Who
No,
are
no.
you?
Who are you, man? Who are
Oh,
you?
God.
Oh, okay, guys. Doctor, please go.
Yeah, okay. So Robin reads a story to Napping Alpacas by Maruchan from Tochigi.
That must be a really boring story.
Like,
They are all sleeping. Yeah, that's
is
true.
she reading to them so that they go to sleep, or is the story so boring that they go
It's
to
like
sleep?
ASMR. Just like just like
Maybe it's just her soothing voice.
yeah.
Right.
I do like the alpacas. It's always a good touch.
You know, I feel like you would. Like, I don't know that for sure,
Like
Well, because he just said he did.
I did.
but
Yes.
I have this feeling like I knew you would say that.
I don't think you had that feeling because
Anyways,
okay.
we should probably turn the page.
Yep. And we move on to what looks to be a flashback. Jump right in the middle of it. So, and we see an announcer at I'm assuming it's the same one. We've been
Yeah, we never actually see him, so I don't know if it is Gats, but let's assume he is.
okay. He says he's even defeated Ricky, the mighty fighter whose appearance was as meteoric as it was mysterious. And that's 3,000 wins in 9 years. 3,000 wins, no losses. 3,000 It's like the Undertaker here.
Nice wrestling reference.
yeah,
man.
that's a good wrestling reference.
It really is, man. We used to make so many of those.
Yeah, no, shut up. Kairos, the living legend. I like it. So nice. The word invincible was surely coined for this very man. Like putting this guy over hella. So, and get a nice little zoom in to Kyrios, and he
And
says,
he's donning the crimson mask.
yeah, you got gigged hard way.
Totally.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of looks like he belongs on the Misfits in that panel too.
He's got the
Yeah.
I want your skull. Sorry.
And he says, why did you participate without telling me, King Riku? And you see King Riku donning the mask. Apparently he was Ricky this entire time. And he says, I've gained much strength in seeking your lessons, but the fact that you went easy knowing it was me means you're a failure of a beast. And he's like, enough is enough. You spent 9 years of your life trapping yourself in this cage. Come out into the sunlight. I have a request for you.
And then we go to the
Go
next page.
suntanning with me.
What?
You're right.
Quick, heroes, put lotion on my back. This has got very homoerotic.
Just a little.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like these people have been fighting each other at this point. You should expect this.
Half naked, yeah.
Half naked, like wrestling with oil, babe oil, on over the
Apparently
face.
that's banned now.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Go figure. Okay.
I didn't know that.
And do not lament the mistakes of the past, Kyrios. You can find meaning in using your strength to protect the lives of others. 1 year later, Kyrios, Captain Kyrios. And then you see Kyrios now, age 25, captain of the Dressrosa Riku Royal Army.
So is it
okay.
Kyrios or Kairos?
It's Kyros.
It's Kyros, so we're all wrong.
Pronunciations.
It's like Euros with a K.
Oh.
Mispronouncing thing is my shtick.
Oh,
I doubt that.
You
whatever
don't
you
have a
say.
shtick. This is your first time on the show.
Jesus.
you need to establish
start your
yourself before you-
morning Start your morning the right way with a nice bowl of Curios.
Oh, this guy's not terrible, actually.
Kairos. Yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah.
He'd be a funny addition to the show, not that we're letting him on.
Kairos.
What?
Kairos?
Kyros.
Kairos. I can see. Kairos.
If only you remembered me, you would have heard me say it like 20 times by now.
What? Okay. And we see a lot of like girls fawning over her and said, "Well, Sir Kyros, you're certainly enjoying your popularity."
What's with the winky thing?
The winky thing?
The
I don't
winky
know.
thing.
That's
what happened when that's what eyes do sometimes when
No,
you
I think her. Yeah, I think I don't want to criticize too much, but like I feel like her wink is like her facial expression is wrong for the wink. I think she's supposed to be attracted to him, right? But
I can't tell.
she looks kind of mad at him.
Does she have dust in her eye or
Well,
something?
she's also
Maybe.
mad at him.
Yeah, this is. It's kind of like one of those
Backhanded
tsundere
compliments.
things where she's like, she feels antagonistic towards him because he's sort of strange and different to her, but you can tell kind of underneath that she is sort of drawn to him.
Okay.
But as we see here on the next page, as we turn, and this is Scarlet, the Princess of Dressrosa. And she's getting up in Kuros's face saying, yes, everyone else doesn't seem to care anymore, but I remember that you're a murderer, and I can't imagine what father is thinking letting you be the captain. Meanwhile, we have, as we see at the bottom of the page here, this is actually Viola, or Violet, as we know her in the present day, who is Scarlet's younger sister, the second princess of Dressrosa. And she's saying, hey, let bygones be bygones. Don't bring up the ugly past. But this is serious business. He was a murderer, and now he is the captain of the guard. He's like the one guy in charge of meting out justice in this kingdom. So which makes it all the crazier that transformation has happened. So you can fool the rest of the country, but you can't fool Scarlet. And she knows that he's going to go back to his old ways at some point. And yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just like this panel where she's talking about where she's reacting to her little sister, like don't you dare fall into his trap. Kind of being a protective, older sister. I really like that moment between the two of them.
Hi ho, Silver, away.
Yeah. Well, and I also wonder too. It just occurs to me now that we don't ever see the queen, I believe. So maybe Scarlet, that is sort of an unspoken thing that she sort of feels like a mother figure toward Viola in a way. But she says, yes, you're not allowed to touch us. You can't. You have to stay away. And Viola's doing her little birdketeer, eyesight thing to peer into his mind. And she sees that, he's not actually that bad of a guy, but Scarlet doesn't want her looking into his filthy heart. And of course, Kyros is like, but it's my job to protect you.
But maybe the queen isn't around anymore, or maybe Scarlet's just a jerk.
Or that. And then
don't you look at my sister.
Yeah. And then on the second half of this spread, this is quite an accelerated story here. In the first panel, Lady Scarlet has been abducted, and then we see some ships out kind of in the harbor. There's been a pirate attack. All the guards were knocked out. And then in the third panel, one of the ships is apparently exploding into the water or something. And then time passes, and apparently it's all good now. He saved her.
Yay.
And not only that, he's kind of doing the thing, like you can tell, like he may have like accidentally touched her, or I imagine this may be something that the anime will elaborate on a lot more, but maybe I can imagine him like carrying her under his arm off the ship or something, like swinging on the ropes or something like that. And then he sets her down and he's like, forgive me. And he
Oh my God, I am so sorry.
I didn't mean to touch you.
I bet.
Didn't mean to touch you with my oiled chest. and my sexy abs.
I wonder if that means Kiros is one of the hand hovering guys when they take a picture.
He does. He gives he gives those ass out hugs.
Yeah.
Well, he throws his hands up like immediately as soon as she's at a safe distance. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for everything. I have I had never intended to do anything with you, but it's a very interesting pose for him. And you see it in the next panel as well, where he's still like way further back.
Yeah, and she's just overcome with emotion that she's just been through this ordeal, and she just leaps onto him and hugs him. And yes, you can see in the long distance he's got his arms like while
Still
she's
not touching.
yes clamping him. She's clamping him around the waist, and he's like, I'm sorry. So yes, it seems the distance has shrunk between them a little bit. Let me go to the next page.
And we go to the next page, and Scarlet is apparently in the kitchen, and what's gotten into her? She's cooking. Is she sick? Is there something wrong with her? Is she ill? No, she's just cooking.
She's lovesick.
Yeah.
It's a love sickness, and she hands Kiros whatever she made, and he's like, "Oh God, no, I can't even touch the food."
Again, throwing up the hands. No.
And here we go. Here's our little montage of love. There's something sweet and almost kind, but he was mean and he was coarse and unrefined. But now he's dear and so unsure. I wonder why I didn't see it there before.
So does this guy just make references to things constantly?
I guess.
Yeah, that was my thing.
You tell me.
That's your thing.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't remember.
I think he's gonna make it his thing.
By the way, how is she even balancing on that swing? Like, she's not holding the ropes. In fact, it looks like it's almost too large of a swing for her to even reach both of them at the same time.
Like the swing
looks really uncomfortable.
The swing is thicker than her. Look at that thing.
Well, it looks like it's a log, so I think just sitting on that, I think you'd be able to. Are we really discussing?
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like we're going too far into this.
I don't know. We don't worry about physics in One Piece.
It's also kind of ironic. You think he'd join her on the swing, and she's like,
She's like, "No, I'll get off."
Nah,
like,
screw
I
the
wonder
swing.
She was waiting for him to push her, and then she got bored of waiting.
I guess I'll
If
use
you
my umbrella.
if you see in the next panel, he has the umbrella.
I don't know. It's hard for me to even tell.
Maybe
I'm gonna
she
say
has it.
he has the umbrella.
I feel
why
like
he got off.
I feel like she was sitting on the swing.
Why
She's
are
like,
they swinging in the middle of winter? I assume.
She's not on the swing in the winter, but I feel like she's sitting there going, "Hey, room for two." He's like, "Yes, there is. That is a big
we are
swing."
going so far into these two panels.
And then we cut to King Riku says, like, "What? You want to leave my daughters to tail? What does that mean? What does detail mean?"
It means like bodyguard, I guess.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's like the people who surround a certain.
Your personal detail.
Yeah, kind of like a little platoon of people who are charged to protect you.
Like the president has Secret Service. That's his detail.
I like how King Riku just gets it right away. It's not even like, "Why, do you not like her or something? Did you guys get into an argument? What, does she stink or something? Does my daughter smell? Does she smell?" Like, you don't want to be your bodyguard anymore? You must be in love with her.
Cutting right to the chase.
Although he may have seen the swing incident that we earlier spoke about for 20 minutes, so it's possible.
He's wondering why he didn't see it there before.
Jesus.
And Kiros is like, no, you got it all wrong. And King Riku says, well, it's like, there are some people that would, celebrate your marriage, but there's also people that would still remember your prior history. And they wouldn't forgive you. Such is the way of the masses. Such is the way of the angry mob. And which just gets Scarlet saying, "Father, if I can't be with him, I'm dead. I'd rather die. Just kill me right now."
Next panel.
So she got a wish and she died.
All right, end the story. Why did you send a flashback?
The enemy really needs like a bell ring right at that cut.
That is such a Simpsons thing. I do not see that happening. But
You need that ridiculous flip of the camera thing,
if they realized how funny that would have been, it's like, So I'd rather die. Don't.
You guys watch The Simpsons?
Yeah, we're huge fans, and I assume he's also a
that's
fan
cool.
because he mentioned it.
the irony.
It's like, Jose, how come we've never done Simpsons reference on here?
Because we're a One Piece podcast. That would be weird.
Oh no!
Sure.
You missed the beauty of the fact that we just throw them in there. I don't know
I
why.
remember doing them every so often with Ed, but not like it wasn't constant.
I don't think he's probably mentioned it once, but I
Find it
don't
very
like
strange that he knows Ed too.
I was roommates with him. Can we just get on with this?
Does he remember being roommates with you, or do you just?
I don't know. He's not here right now.
Did you look through a hole in the wall? Because that's not actually being someone's roommate.
Maybe he's a pervert.
Anyways, we should probably move on a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Scarlet totally got like a
She got scarlet fever.
I was gonna say Grand Line fever, because
Oh,
that was
right, that's what
totally
Nami got,
made up.
yeah.
No, that was not what she got. That was
Yeah.
made on the spot.
No, it's definitely what Nami got.
No, it's yeah, totally. And Garden never happened. It's like, yeah, she would have been a great queen. So sad, so very sad. She'll never live to see the day. But she will live.
Because she's dead.
Because she's totally dead. That's why she's in disguise with Kyros, and they're gonna just run off on their own because the kingdom thinks they're both dead.
Fun fact for that, when she says yes, like I was really thinking about her saying "finally" or something like that.
I'm so dead. It's awesome.
But I forgot to read that because I chuckled at that. It's like, to the rest of the kingdom, you are now dead. Yes! Because I'm with my honey bunny now. Taking this panel out of context, I feel like Kyros would have been like, I've just made a serious mistake. And Kyros is kind of thinking like, I kind of feel like I'm betraying you. The king is like, hey, if there's any other guy, yeah, and I'd probably murder you. But it's like, this is a very interesting tale, the tale of Kyros. And pretty much, they're getting their blessing, and they move into the flower fields and to a nice little cottage. And
This does explain why they were living in a cottage when we saw the original flashback.
and we cut to this water wheel a lot. I don't know if it's really symbolic. I think it's just something nice to cut to when you're transitioning to a scene.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out later.
The flowing water as they give birth.
Yes.
I get it.
And a
was a little more
baby
graphic.
born.
Hey, this is the beauty of life. Okay?
Yeah, we all love childbirth.
Cut
but
to waterfalls. That's like perfect censorship. It's like, oh, we don't want to show this, and you just cut to waterfalls.
This is a Shonen Jump, so
Yeah.
I think I said a baby is born. That's not a word. A baby is born. I shall name her Rebecca. And we do see the queen. The queen is alive. Steven, has the queen's name been mentioned? I can't remember for the life of me.
Wait, we see the
Oh,
queen?
is that her at the top?
That's what I'm guessing.
Because Violet is in the corner.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe she is alive. Okay. That's kind of weird that she hasn't been mentioned at all.
Or
otherwise.
wait, there's Violet, there's Scarlet.
Or maybe that's like the midwife or something.
It could also be.
Nurse. And
The mistress.
I feel like there was another sibling. Am I just going
the
crazy?
king's concubine.
Yeah.
Also
be the king.
got to point out the irony in the fact that all the women look so joyful, and the men are bawling their eyes out.
Yeah. I love that.
Oh, they're emotional after all. It's like, come on, Kyros, hold the baby.
they're just sad because it was a girl. They wanted sons.
That's so sexist.
that is terrible.
That is like the definition of sexist.
Well,
but
it's the exact opposite, I feel.
I do like just the blank baby stare on a drooling Rebecca's face. Hold the baby. And he's like, no, she's pure and innocent. Not with these filthy hands. Do not wish to sully her. And she's like, oh, isn't your father just stupid as shit?
He's a silly duck.
He's like, oh, Rebecca, you're like an angel. I will watch over you, child. You don't know the half of it, buddy.
And note the line there, "I'm ever at your side." That was a callback to the song that he teaches her when he is the toy soldier.
I would like to point out when I was when I first saw this scene, it was like deja vu. I was thinking of something like I've seen the scene before, and I couldn't put my finger on it. But then I realized it reminded me a lot of Hohenheim in Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, you also watch Full Metal Alchemist?
I do.
I love that show.
I once did a Full Metal podcast.
So did I. I don't remember you being
I
on
don't
it.
That's
think
weird.
so.
Yours probably
I think
as well
that was
as
me and Doctor.
Yeah. It didn't
What?
last that long though.
Okay, now they're just delusional.
Yeah, you're just
No, I'm
crazy
pretty sure
people.
that was us, man.
I think we should
Yeah.
move on. Right? Oh
Right.
wait, it's
Next
it's,
page.
It's
Yeah.
my turn.
It's your turn.
Wherever you are.
So
We know his name. His name's Zach. Come on.
I
Don't be
forgot.
rude either, Doctor.
it's Grandpa time.
Grandpa time.
And so
Now it's in the show where it's Grandpa time.
there's no good segue into Grandpa time. So
We got to clean Grandpa.
Oh God.
Grandpa time.
So King Riku is just fawning over his granddaughter and how big she is now, and oh my god! And apparently, and Scarlet's like, take off that burglar mask, father. It's not...
I'll say it right now because it's not a spoiler. Because in Heaven the chapter, because I felt like then eventually a burglar would show up at their house and be like, "Hey, it's Grandpa." And he's like, "Give me your money." Put the money in the bag.
And so Kiros puts on some gloves because he's too sullied in sin to touch his child. So he picks her up and, oh my god, still crying and weeping because he's
I imagine him
Kiros.
putting on the yellow rubber gloves. It's just like, okay, Daddy's got you now.
And then we flash forward and we get to a little bit of a more familiar part as
More water.
there's more water gushing. No birds this time. It's quite the opposite. The palace is under attack, and we see Kiros and Scarlet and Rebecca looking over at the palace. Now, this panel, I saw this earlier on Tumblr, is exactly the same as the panel we got with Rebecca, except Rebecca remembers it without Kiros. This kind of makes me think it's like... I think it kind of changes the entire landscape of what may happen. I guess we'll talk about it a little bit more later when it comes up. But
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
it's an interesting parallel. Anyway, so Scarlet and Rebecca both look on to Kiros, and Kiros says, "Look, I have to go to the castle. Understand, Scarlet? Do you understand, Rebecca?" And Rebecca's like, "Father, no." No, father. And she doesn't really say
you're
that.
translating too much.
I'm adding things. Anyway, Kiros is like, look, if you encounter any danger, wait for me at the red flower field, and he'll come back for them. We head to the palace where Kiros has already been caught in chains on his left leg and says, "Pirates, what have you done to my king and country?" And Doflamingo says, "Look, you saw him burn everything to the ground. You know it was King Riku who did it." And he said,
It was King, what's his face? Rinku, yeah.
And Riku is pouring out crying, saying, "No, Kiros, what I have done, it was Doflamingo." I'm adding things again, I'm sorry. And Riku's like, "Why do you have sea prism stone cuffs on me? I am not... I have no devil fruit powers. I have no powers." And Doflamingo says, "Look, I've heard about you, but now there's a new king, and
Stick with me, and you'll never go hungry again.
it's almost like a Star Wars thing, like the dude used to do. Those Star Wars impressions.
How do
You guys know the
that?
dude too?
Yeah.
Yes. I just
Wait, you know the dude?
Not even gonna
Of
bother.
course we do. We
explaining.
work
Yeah,
with
we
him all
do.
the time.
No, Wow.
Yeah, we have like a whole segment where we talk
I didn't
about
mean
the
I didn't
music.
mean you guys. I meant this other guy here.
This is such bullshit, man.
Anyway, so
Let's try to keep the cursing to a minimum, please.
fuck
You make
that.
sure you-
we curse on this podcast.
Jose, you're going to be censoring this later, right?
I know I'm going to be bleeping all this stuff out.
Anyway,
Sure.
Bleeps? Oh my god.
no. What is this podcast?
I can't
come
believe
to?
I'm living to see this day.
Oh God. Anyway, Doflamingo, who also Kyros can't believe he's living this day either because Doflamingo is taking over and he is threatening to kill his wife and daughter, saying he has already sent his people after them. And he says, watch closely as the Riku dynasty it becomes a thing of the past.
Gotta love the gall of Doflamingo. You should join me. I'm gonna kill your wife and child anyway. But you should totally join me.
Yeah, he does say that in the same sentence.
You're not gonna be mad at me for that. I didn't like her anyway. Wives, right?
Wives and daughters. Who cares?
Yeah.
Oh.
I wanted her to be a boy.
Well, as we turn the page, Kyros is so angered at this that he cuts off his own leg. And
the leg gets pulled off from the cuffs that were on it.
Oh, well, it looks like a clean slice to me.
Right? I thought that's... Oh, he cuts it?
Oh, yeah,
okay.
because he is... Oh, let me just pull my leg out of...
If anyone could do it, it's Kyros.
My detachable leg.
I mean, he does have a sword, so...
Yeah, you might as well do it with the sword. Right?
You think like those cuffs are like lightsabers? Like, trink... Oh, hey.
Why not?
So he cuts off his leg and he sacrifices it to attack Doflamingo, and he's about to get there, but unfortunately he gets turned into a toy. We know what happens when you get turned into a toy.
You could cut the irony with a fucking knife right now.
By the way, I don't know if anyone else thought this, but on the top row, that panel of Doflamingo, is it just me, or does he look younger in that than he does now? Something about the way Oda drew him, like he actually looks like he's younger. Yeah,
his hair's shorter, right? Or is
his hair is a little more spikier.
Is that what it is?
Maybe that's it.
I don't know. Veins on his forehead.
Honestly, I don't see too much of a difference. I think
it's subtle. It's subtle.
I think it just might be the hairline because that's the big. Otherwise, everything is.
Is Doflamingo also holding a sword there, and for what reason?
Well, he is. He's on the throne, I guess, holding it. And...
Yeah, but does he maybe he didn't have his devil fruit powers at this point?
I think he took King Riku's.
Oh no, he did. What am I talking about? Obviously, he had it.
Yeah, he had him.
But it doesn't make any sense. Well, I don't know why the hell he would have a sword, but whatever.
Just to look cool, man.
Yeah, that's probably the reason.
But yeah, unfortunately Kyros gets turned into a toy with no leg, and everybody sort of. I mean, on the next panel, he basically is wondering if this is a dream, and but he is able to carry the king out the window as a toy, and he's like, King Riku, it's me, Kyros, and he's like, I'm sorry, I don't know that name.
Oh my god, this is.
How have you not figured this out yet?
It's so
figured
obvious.
What out, guys?
Yeah, we know.
I don't know what this guy's talking about, but it's true.
Don't spoil it, guys.
Guys, quiet. We haven't even gotten through the rest of the page yet.
Jesus Christ.
So the name is very unfamiliar to him, and and he's trying. Eventually, he tells. He's screaming out, "Run, Scarlet, Rebecca! Wait for me in the place of promise!" And nobody knows his name. And he tries to get to the garden where Scarlet and Rebecca are waiting. And on the last panel, we hear a blam. We turn the page.
And lo and behold, Scarlet got shot. And he's like, and you see little soldier guy saying, Scarlet, why is she in town? And she's running towards, like, why weren't you waiting for me? And then you hear the crowd like, someone's been shot. It's the Royal Army again. And then you see a little zoom in. This like strangely looking fellow. So I feel like he's sung about, I don't know, like a meteorite coming down to Earth at one point or another. I like the guy. Yeah. So
looks like he has a really hot daughter.
He might have. He might even put his hot daughter in his music video.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea. Should try that next time. Yeah. Well, we'll write that down for the future. And he goes on and says, "Oh no, it's unless I vanish from your mind as well." It's like, was everything from me vanished? Details, promises, memories, and you see him running, Scarlet, and you see at Scarlet, she's like, "Well, whoever you are," and he's this little guy is just yelling, screaming at the top of his lungs. It's like she says, "My daughter is hungry and waiting." And she's like, "It's me, it's Kyros," and it's like it's all this. It's a just a whirlwind of emotion here. And it's like, how can this be the end? How could it end like this? This is hell, damn it. And, you know, these 10 arms of mine, I cannot feel the warmth leave your dying body.
I do really like
is
this.
It's like...
That is heartbreaking.
It's... Oh, God.
That's a hardcore
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Well, despite that very inappropriate comment,
This is actually very.
This is like really.
sad
So
scene.
despite me, I'm trying to put a little bit of.
no, I think you did a good job.
But it's like one of those things. Like you look at this thing. It's like you. That is like every kind of just terrible happening all at once. Like you're.
Well, it's your wife doesn't remember you, and she's dying in your arms, and you're a toy soldier. So
she doesn't remember you. Everything. It's just like,
and you can't even experience it as a human being.
It's a
Yeah,
man.
you can't feel her last moments. That's the cherry on top of heartbrokenness.
you cannot feel her. That is like you cannot physically feel her. That's nuts.
And it's a man just trapped in a body that isn't his, and just without her even like knowing who he is. Yeah, he's pretty helpless right now.
I cannot imagine how what this guy's going through, man.
I have not a complete feeling of it, but I have a slight feeling of what he's going through.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I see the connection.
I can relate. Yeah.
Is there something personal that's going on in your lives right now? That
If irony was made out of strawberries, we'd be drinking a lot of smoothies right now.
Strawberry smoothies?
I don't know what that means, but I think unless we're done with this page, unless there's anything else we want to say about this page, let's go ahead and
let's move on.
Yeah, let's turn to the next one.
All right, and he's just lost. The soldier is lost and thought, soldier, and then he snaps out of his flashback. Oh, sorry, I was in Da Nang for a second there, back in Vietnam. And he recognizes, and he recognizes Lady Viola, and Luffy is there. They're back, kind of hiding out outside the throne room, and Luffy's like, "You okay, man?" And Violet is using her sight powers to see the enemy coming for them from the first floor, and we see Gladius and a little troop with him. Gladius has figured it out that in the previous chapter, when he saw what he thought was Doflamingo, which was actually Kinemon in disguise, he's figured it out now, and he's following the trail of Violet's bloodstains up to the somewhere above them in the palace, where he thinks the second floor or higher. And Toy Soldier is assessing the situation. He's like, okay, well, we're about to be trapped here. They're coming up on us from the stairs, and all the other officers are in the room behind us. So we might as well, the clock is ticking. Maybe we should just ambush Doflamingo now before the other guys arrive. Maybe Usoland is he's doing his operation, but he doesn't. Maybe he won't finish in time. We can't just sit around and wait forever. And he's sort of putting together the makeup of these mysterious people who have come to his island. You're all pirates, aren't you? And he's realized even Fraland and Usoland, which are obviously Frankie and Usopp, and he's just putting it together now that they're pirates. And Luffy says, is that a problem? And he says, well, I'm also a ruffian by nature, so no, he's fine with that. It's reassuring to be among his own kind.
Ruffian. I like that choice of words there. Yeah.
Rapscallion.
Mm-hmm. He's a brigand. And back to the Colosseum. Actually, underneath the Colosseum, looks like we got some of the tournament guards there looking with concern at what looks like cracks in the foundation, and they're like, "Man, maybe this wasn't such a good idea to have such a ridiculous tournament on this day." It looks like all these guys are just going to break it apart. Burgess's attacks are basically threatening to knock the Colosseum into rubble. It's about to come down around their ears.
Which would be a good thing when you think about it.
Yeah, kind of. And then we could see why, because he's throwing these shockwave elbows and just destroying chunks of the stands. Obviously doesn't care at all about the people back there. But for some reason, Lucy here is actually kind of excited about this. He's like, nice.
Nice.
He's enjoying this.
Nice.
And that actually kind of, I guess it confuses Burgess. He's like, huh? But he's got this stupid smile on his face.
The question mark doesn't seem to fit in that panel at all. But
He seems to have one expression.
Yeah. You know,
true.
maniacal happiness.
Yeah.
But I guess
He's a madman.
he is.
Yes. And here we have this large-mouthed gentleman, Diamante, who is just totally taunting Rebecca here. He's like, yeah, you want to know who shot your mama? Oh. And
Stephen, this is probably one of your greatest written lines. I love this.
I was so proud of this. So Bartolomea says, hey, sticks and stones don't break my barrier, but words can really hurt, man.
That's such a dude statement. And not by dude, I mean Alex. I mean the dude. Hey, sticks and stones don't break my barrier, but words can hurt, man. I just like this Scar moment with Diamante. Now here's my little secret. I killed Scarlet. No.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
this
that really
chapter.
hurts.
This chapter, lots of shit's come to light, man.
Yeah.
So, and Rebecca is just like slumped to the ground. She's just like, it's toy soldier. I can't do this anymore. It was me. He gloats.
It was me, Austin.
It was me all along, Austin.
And she's thinking back to the last memories she had with her mom, and when she said she was hungry, and Scarlet went to go get her something to eat, which, as we know now, that was just before she went into town when they were supposed to be. If they hadn't lost their memory, they would have gone to the flower field to wait for Kiros. And just all this emotion is just overwhelming her. She can't even move.
As we go to the last, no, not the
Second to last.
Second to last.
Sorry. See, I'm not even going to bother explaining, but if you guys only knew, this is so fitting. Because we go to the House of Toys, and poor Frankie has just been clobbered, defeated, just on the ground flat, as we see the House of Toys guards stand around him, including Mach Weiss, Senor Pink, and just zoom in right there. Just a little closer, kind of up above Frankie's right hand. It's Dellinger. It's Dellinger.
Whoa, why did you do that weird voice?
Yeah, what the hell?
Oh, God damn it.
Dellinger's just this very uninteresting character in high heels for some reason.
No,
Yeah.
It's funny because he's a dude and he's wearing short shorts and high heels, and it's funny if he sounds like Paul Lynde. It's
Paul Lynde? Who makes Paul Lynde impressions at this? We live in 2014.
I don't think anyone even remembers Hollywood Squares.
Yeah. It's been a while.
okay.
Yeah,
I don't,
yeah.
but I do. But whatever.
Remember when Whoopi was on it?
God, that's so
Whoopi was on everything.
Yeah.
Still is.
Gotta love Whoopi.
I'm gonna whoopee your asses if you don't shut up and let me do this manga recap. All right. God. Okay. So Frankie's like, come on, Usopp. It's like you always get things done. Just start a panic already. And we go to the underground port, and just the Tontadas are just cheering Usolin on, and these guys just look like hell. They've been beaten to death.
stomped and presumably killed, and
it sucks because we did do the volume, I think 73 recap a couple weeks ago, and we talked about the names of these guys and SBS. Yeah.
The guy with the little like Mo haircut thing is Bomba.
Yeah, I just like, go on. It's like, get up, you son of a bitch. Because the Tontadas love you. Sorry. So they're chanting his name, and the other toys are just watching. It's like, oh, there's a terrible battle like raging on the officers' tower. There's a lot of kapows and just rumblings, and they're wishing Usopp and the Straw Hat crew good luck. And they're like, it's like, whatever you look like, Usopp, even though that really doesn't matter right now, best of luck to you. If you win, I owe you my life. And it's like, you can do it. Did you really?
Jesus.
Did you put that in there?
No, don't paint that on me.
Don't put the evil maybe Ricky Bobby.
And we cut to Cavendish Toy. Cabin Toy. I don't know. Maybe there's a better pun in there. So I don't want to spend my life as a toy. If you put me back to normal, I'll leave Straw Hat alone. And we cut to the giant. I forget his name. Hyrudin, who's an elephant toy, which is awesome. He says, "I'll be your henchman. I'll do anything." And we cut to
which is perfect for Usopp there.
And Dr. Robotnik as a pig toy, and he says, "You'll have all my money I can arrange for you. Just do it."
Like you could see exactly how he works from remembering him in the Coliseum. He was all about scheming and paying people off, and
it's all about the money.
Yep,
it's all about the money. And then we just hear a voiceover transponder say, "It's like, bring Sugar back to the palace now, Treble." And Treble's like, "Duh, no worries." Which is weird. I thought he'd be getting his ass kicked right now. And he's like, "No surprises here." And unfortunately, there are no surprises here because Usopp got his ass whipped.
Yeah.
And Sugar's just staring at the brutally beaten Usopp, just tied up by Treble's stick abilities. Is like, "Have no fear, young master. Our enemy is no longer conscious." And my first reaction right here was pretty much it was, if I can make another wrestling reference, it was any time that Triple H won a match in like 99 or 2000 and Jim Ross was just like, "No, damn it. Just 1, 2, kick out, Rock, kick out, damn it. That's exactly how I felt. I was just hoping just once Usopp would he would fight a battle and just be able to come out on top and just. No,
it is against two really big people.
Yeah, Usopp's playing the card that Oda dealt him. He's a weakling. He's an everyman.
We wouldn't be able to beat Treble or Sugar individually, let alone together.
No, Treble wouldn't exist.
Something about the way that Oda did this sort of transition. It's a little subtle, I guess, but I sort of was just thinking of. Like the scene when we first meet Crocus inside Laboon, and he's sort of like semi-taunting Sanji or something. He's like, "You don't want to pick a fight. Someone's going to die. Me." And there's sort of like comedic thing. That's sort of what I get from this, where it's like all these people are like outside and they just hear this ferocious fight going on. And they're just like, "Oh man, that guy's kicking some ass in there. Like he's just giving it to him." And then we see, it's all Usopp getting his ass kicked.
Well, that just might be how the legend lived on. It's like, I didn't see it, but he whipped their ass.
Yeah.
So we see in the distance the 100-ton hammer deflated.
Yeah, that was a great.
Looks like Usopp really tried every trick in the book. But the Tontadas realizing that this is coming to end, they can't even say his name properly. Even before they couldn't say words properly. Now it's even worse. Like, Ushola! And she's like, and Sugar's like, "You can have your poison grape back now." And they're like, "No, the Tata Babasco, our final hope." She's like, "You eat it and die," and just smacks his face. Smacks his face with with her left hand. I'm guessing maybe her powers work like bone clay.
I thought that as well, but then I went back and looked, and like the scene with Robin, where she flashes back, that was with her left hand. So I don't know what the deal is.
She just has to like activate it. It's something that she has to put thought into.
Yeah, I think at this point she was like, "This guy's been through enough. We don't need to do that to him. He'll be dead in a couple of seconds.
He'll be a broken toy."
Yeah. It's either it's a conscious decision on her part, or maybe there's some weird thing where it's like if the target is not actually conscious, it won't work on him or something because Usopp's knocked out.
She wouldn't she like still need to put on a contract to the thing for it to work?
Right.
And poor Usopp, he's crying too. He just
he goes from crying to having a very different face. Do I even have to go through this page?
Do it.
There's a voice here.
I don't know if you can physically do this.
Yeah, we kind of need Sunny Straight for this.
I don't think a human being could make the noise that would come out of
this.
A
human being cannot do what is happening on this page.
Well, I'll try and describe it. His tongue twists several times over. His eyes twists out of his skull several times over. He is crying and wheezing, and fire is coming out of his throat, and blood is coming out of every orifice that it could come out of, and it's just bleh. Is that a good impression?
Sure.
Yeah, I imagine higher pitch, like. Bleh.
Yeah, I don't really want to do that. And Sugar, her eye comes out of one of her single clear eye patch that she had for some reason, and the other eye just comes out normally, and she is just shocked and taken aback, and it's just ferocious yelling all over the place. Usopp kind of is starting to fall, and I guess the tongue is deflating a little bit, but Sugar is still in complete shock, and you see she starts eventually foaming from the mouth as the Tontatas look on.
It looks like she's knocked out.
And she is getting knocked out. She's in the process of being knocked out, which is the target for Operation SOP. So,
do you guys think Usopp knows hockey now?
I think his voice and his face know hockey.
something, yeah.
Something
For all you old people out there who remember Pee-wee's Big Adventure, this is like the large marge to end all large marges. Look that up on YouTube or something.
Yeah, this page is freaky.
Yeah.
So the operation
Stuff of
succeeds,
nightmares.
and Leo is also pretty scared there, which is understandable. Treble doesn't care at all because Treble's creepy to begin with.
No, Treble is shocked.
He's
Yeah,
like,
Yeah,
wait, no,
what's
he's
going on?
shocked about the response, I think, more than what's actually happening. But yeah, that's that page. So
And that brings us to the end of this chapter for this week.
Right.
yeah, I guess we could talk about it.
Whoa, wait, Zach? Is that you, Zach?
What? You recognize me?
Whoa.
Whoa.
When did you get here?
Wait,
Is that
Steve's
Steve?
here?
Wait,
Hey, guys.
Well,
Yeah,
I've been here this whole time. Zach,
Yeah.
man.
Oh.
Zach,
What?
why did you?
Oh, it all
Why-
makes sense now.
Why was I hosting the show?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll never make that mistake
Whoa.
again.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
silly.
all right.
That's just
All
silly.
right. Jose. It's like, Jose, Doc, Steven, shut up. Zach, it's
yeah.
good to see you again.
It's nice to see you again too, Steve.
Yes.
That was quite an ordeal.
Yeah.
Now, to me,
I think you should do the introduction right here. Proper introduction.
okay, this is the manga recap for chapter 742.
Not even that. Do an
oh.
intro to the podcast.
This is the unofficial One Piece podcast, episode 311 for the week of Monday, March 31st, 2014. My name is Zach.
Not a toy.
I am not
No
a toy.
mistakes.
I
Oh.
know. Not
My
even.
name's- and my name.
What's your name?
What's your name?
What's your name?
What's your name, man?
I said Steve.
Oh, your
well.
internet blacked out.
Man.
You know what? I
Wait.
really missed forgetting
mean
how much his
does-
internet died.
Does this mean I have to go by Steven now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Steve.
Steve.
Ben.
Yeah, Steven.
Hey, it worked out before. It'll keep working out.
So I guess this petrified us back into reality. What thoughts on the chapter, Steven?
Yeah, wow. This was a super dense chapter. Like it in just my script file, it was a couple pages longer than it usually is. Because that, obviously there was a great ending. It's just I almost screamed with laughter when I saw it. It was just so over the top, but it was easy to forget that there was like a super dense flashback for most of this chapter that
A really good one.
covered.
Yeah.
Yeah. It covered a lot of stuff, and it really it wrapped up tons of little details that I didn't even necessarily think about in pretty much perfect order. Just like chronologically speaking, that Kyros lost his leg, just before he was turned into a toy, and why Scarlet was not living in the city, and just so many things that got really neatly wrapped up within the space of not even a full chapter. Was really impressive from a storytelling perspective.
I faked it like hell. I have no idea what the hell this was.
if I could just say a few things since I was pretty quiet. No, I really enjoyed this chapter. It took such a left turn with all the Usopp stuff. But I do want to. I think Steve and I were starting to have this fight on Twitter, so we might as well just conclude it here on the air.
Yeah, let's settle this. We'll set this on the podcast where it matters. You and me. One Piece Podcast Mania.
Steak and
Iron Man
salad.
match.
So we've been talking about this theory for a while. I think this really. Steve has the exact opposite opinion. Steve, do you want to start? Since I tend to cut off, or should I? I guess I'll start since Steve's internet may have died.
Yeah, I'm back to being me now. So my internet.
So
Who would have thought my signal was better when I was a toy?
Figure that out. I think your internet provider forgot to screw you over while you were recording. I think that's what happened.
There's less memory to clog up the bandwidth.
House.
So we actually got this flashback, kind of like parts of it overlap with Rebecca's memory of a lot of these, some of these events, a few of these events, and what we're like. As I said, the panel where Kiros, Scarlet, and Rebecca are looking out at the palace. It's just them without Kiros. Now, the difference here is in Kiros's inner monologue toward the end of the flashback, where he says, "Scarlet, why is she in town? Why is she in town? Why weren't you waiting for me?" So she clearly forgot that she was supposed to wait. As Kiros had put it, and it changed her motivation somewhat, or it changed what she ended up doing. She didn't have that. I mean, she didn't have the thought to stay there because he was no longer in her memory. So I think we didn't really see as much result from Usopp, aside from the fact that he ran away, I think, a little more scared than he normally would have had Robin been there, had Frankie been there, had someone been there. But because he was all alone and he knew no one was coming down to save him at that point or help him, he ran the hell away. But Steve?
I still don't think that, because the thing is, though, my whole theory was, it's steak and salad. You know, you had dinner, you had steak and salad. You forget the steak. Do you remember the salad? I mean, do you remember the rest of the meal?
Do you remember the meal?
The meal here is, hey, it's like Rebecca still remembered that day. The thing is,
I never denied that it completely wipes your memory of the event. I think that's probably where we're having a disconnect. I just think it changes motivations.
Yeah, well, I'm stating my opinion right now is it's just that they completely like Kiros is gone, so okay, oh wow, the town's like being attacked, it's looking bad, but Mom, I'm hungry. All right, completely forgets the person that told them to stay put.
Right,
so right there, that's gone now. But does that change motivation? Like, because if without Kiros being there, it was kind of completely up to Scarlet to make the choice there, and she was thinking for her daughter.
Yeah, it's also kind of weird the fact that like she kind of this baby just appeared. I was like, I don't know, she's Jesus or something because like
she knew Rebecca was her daughter.
No, that's the thing.
She probably just doesn't remember who. She probably thought he died. Yeah. You know, her husband.
We've seen that. We've seen that before with random people where, like there was the one guy who I think it was the dog, the one Poco guy who was like the toy of the kid and the mom said something like, "Oh yeah, I'm just a single parent. That's not weird, is it?" So it was sort of establishing that like it's not like the fact that there are single parents who don't remember their spouse but still have kids that were produced with that spouse is not like a weird thing that sets off any internal, logic sensors that are like, wait a second, they just accept
error.
Right.
Okay. All right. I mean, you leave
it's still kind of wishy-washy, but I think, my opinions on it, I still feel like I don't really have to change them. It's like you remember the event, you just you've forgotten certain details.
Well, I agree with that being the case, but I think that affects motivations for people. I think if you forget someone, it'll change how you act in a certain situation. I think that's the case here. I think that was the case with Usopp.
I think we're not gonna know. I think we're not gonna find a better answer for this.
I think in the next
until
chapter,
next week, when Robin comes back.
Which I'm so excited for what's going to happen next week.
I feel like we don't get such a good idea for this because it's not so much a test of Scarlet and Rebecca's character as much as it is with Usopp.
Yeah, I think this is more like.
I agree. Yeah,
I think this is more of like a study on as far as like the established logic and the rules as to how most of this is supposed to work. So, I like you kind of need that for like the motivation to. I guess, to make sense.
The debate lives on.
Now, was anyone, like, I guess, disappointed that Usopp won through such a ridiculous method? You know, in other words, that he didn't, actually he didn't actually show any like combat power in this fight.
Slightly, but
both yes and no.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. I think that's it.
I think when I read it the first time, I was like, really? And then I was like, that face. Like,
I think
it is a good drawing.
To be fair, like rereading this again, all of this stuff that happens in this flashback, you kind of need it.
It needs to pay off. Yeah,
you need that little comedy humor. Is that how? Oh yeah, I forgot all of the sorrow that I just experienced like a few pages ago.
It's really freaking sad. This flashback ranks up there, especially for secondary characters. Like I am positive he is not joining the crew, because that would just be a betrayal. I feel like because him and his daughter have.
Are you talking about Kyros?
Yeah.
Wait, people theorize that Kyros is going to join the crew.
I don't know, but no, I'm saying we don't have a lot of flashbacks for secondary characters that never end up joining that much. We have them. No, I'm not saying we don't have them, but not that often.
I mean, it's still fine to do. I mean,
no, I'm not saying it isn't. But for those secondary flashbacks is definitely, I think, is the saddest that we've seen.
Oh,
yeah.
Back to the Usopp thing real quick. I think my opinions were mostly covered during the recap. I was slightly disappointed, but I understand what Usopp is. I understand his character, right. So I can't say this is surprising. As a little, like my reaction was, "Damn it!" Like for once, I wanted to see. I think Usopp maybe one day will have a heroic battle, but I guess maybe it's just still not his time.
I just don't want him petition. You can get your Usopp movement.
The Sop movement. I don't know. Yeah. The Uso movement. I don't know. I think. I just don't want to see him win all his battles with flukes, because I do have the theory, and I think most people have the theory that he will battle Von Ogre from the Blackbeard Pirates, and I want it to be like a legit sniping battle.
I think it will when that happens.
If I can make an obscure video game reference, it's like Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. It's like fighting the end is a treat. It's a great boss battle, but you can also avoid that boss battle by shooting at the end at the dock and killing him. Therefore, you could bypass that boss fight. But is that really fun? I mean, it's humorous, but is it truly a joy?
You can also wait him out for 3 days.
What was that?
You can also wait out for 3 days.
Like,
he
dies. You can probably can't you like set up the system clock to like run a few days and just
you can actually change the clock too.
Yeah. So maybe if Usopp does that.
I do want to mention a few things that we haven't hit on that are tangentially related.
I just wanted to say my piece on Usopp before we go on. Yeah. I loved the way that Oda did this because it fits. I mean, like Steve said, it fits Usopp's place in the crew. Like he's never going to be the tough guy. He's always going to be, the one who is weaker than the rest, and Oda's not going to disturb that balance, I guess. But I I thought it was great because we know that he struggled. We can see, you know, he had the 100-ton hammer. Like, we know that he tried once he actually, you know, stood his ground and decided to fight, that he gave it his best and he got his ass kicked. And I think this is actually really to Usopp's credit, because we know, like, you know, you look at, say, Zoro, who probably takes more damage than anyone in the crew. Like, Zoro just gets destroyed all the time, but he's such a badass, and, you know, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to handle it. That, you know, he seems like a badass. But Usopp goes into every fight knowing he's going to get his ass kicked because he's just not that good of a fighter, and yet ultimately he does it anyway. And he gets destroyed like no one else does, really, in terms of, like, you know, in relation to how good of a fighter he actually is. And I thought this is a really you know, striking instance of that from Oda's perspective of, you know, like, he really got beat bad this time, but you know, that's just what he does. He sacrifices everything he's got for the crew, which I thought was awesome.
If I can say, I personally would have loved that one panel to be like a 2-page spread of, like, the entire thing, just like the entire area is like written with all of his gadgets, dials, the hammer.
That would be cool.
That would have been super cool to see, like, he gave her everything.
Right.
Because we don't see it, but I do like how that's done. But
yeah.
Anyway, Usopp got a great birthday present this year. Being pummeled just incessantly.
And now he's going to poop very badly for the next couple of days.
Okay, so just something somewhat related to this is that Usopp is really going to get some positive out of this too. So he is going to get something at least, and that is a fleet of allies. Like, who knows how many allies from even across the world, because we don't know who Sugar has affected. From incidentally, as Usopp does, incidentally succeeding in this huge mission. I mean, we saw Cavendish and Hiruden and the guy from Sonic all are going to be on his side, but we know there's going to be a lot more than just that. And beyond that, the Tontatas. So this is, although the Tontatas know exactly what happened, unless they
they don't care. They're going to be amazed.
No, yeah, exactly. That's a really cool thing I'm looking forward to. And of course, the big thing next week is that everyone's going back to normal. All the giraffe toy in the Coliseum, he's going back to normal. We're going to find out who everyone is.
All 15 of them.
And the toy soldier is going to be Kiros again next week, we assume. Mm-hmm. And I mean, what do you guys think is going to happen?
I think people are going to lose their heads over next chapter. That's what I think.
Whoa, Steven knows things. I forgot.
Uh-oh.
I'm
hoping for an emotional moment between Kiros and Rebecca. From the little brief I read, but I'm waiting for that.
I will say, I do think that when they do meet up, it's going to be at the flower field that they had promised to go to and haven't been there in like 10 years. That would be really, really cool.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, I see that.
I think first he has to kill Doflamingo.
I know I had my predictions that the tournament was going to go awry. Things like it wasn't going to have like a clear, decisive win. I think that half the spectators in there are toys, and as soon as they become human again, they're gonna be like, "Kabla!" and just start rioting. You know?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god,
that's gonna be nuts.
And I think Diamante's like, I gotta get out of here. You know, he takes the flame
Chase
fruit and just runs off.
He killed our princess.
This bird's gonna fly.
That's how Steven Tyler talks in real life.
Yes. Because it's not funny here. Steven Tyler's like, I gotta get out of here. You know, that's how he talks. He screams all the time.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Any other final thoughts here going on?
It was very emotional. Like Kiros has just become such a better character, and it was cute.
Yes.
And I'll say that, like, for how badass and gritty the Kiros story was going, it got very cute. when he became a father, because just showing that, hey, beneath this rugged exterior, there's a heart there. And I did really feel for him. It was, you saw him find happiness finally, because in life, he didn't know where the hell he's going. He just decided, I'm going to just live in this Coliseum and just keep fighting because this is where I belong.
Now he has a purpose.
He does have a purpose, and he has a family. Well, he still has his daughter. And of course, the Usopp thing, I love. I mean, I love the Enaru faces. I don't think it's played off in the slightest. I think
That's beyond. I mean, Sugar did the Enaru face, but Usopp's face is beyond anything I have seen in this entire series, and that says something.
It might be up there as one of the best.
You can see the glass shatter from her eye patch.
I know.
Her eye.
Well, I think her face was more of a Perona face.
I think
the eyes.
Right.
Because I think Perona's eyes looked exactly the same. But it was such an awesome chapter. And I cannot wait to see the shit that's going to go down.
I think it was Greg who said something like, we knew the details that were going to happen, a lot of them, but it was just executed so well because we knew a lot going into this flashback. We knew a lot of what was going to happen, but I loved the execution, and it really made you feel for him. And it also, if we go back, and I really want to go back to that Rebecca flashback with the toy soldier, with Kyros, after he becomes the soldier, I think that just would make it all the more heart-wrenching. I mean, we already knew, I think, when we read it the first time, oh, this is obviously her dad. But I think given the events that we've seen, I think even more so. Crazy, yeah. Steven? Or...
No, I was just agreeing.
It's cool. Okay. Now that I'm back in charge, I think it's time we go into the next segment. Ready?
Okay.
I missed my job. This is the Toonami Recap. Episodes 246 and 247. 246, The Straw Hat Pirates Annihilated, The Menace of the Leopard Model, and The Man Who Is Loved Even by His Ship, Usopp's Tears. And we had, the reason we're doing two is because we weren't here last week. Sorry about that, we were at Anime Boston. But the cool thing about episode 246 is that we were all in the same room watching it together. So
that was a blast.
That was
a lot
great.
of fun.
It was cool because it's Greg watching with us. Greg watching English One Piece. It's definitely kind of like a fish out of water thing with him. So it was cool to get to see what he thought of some of like the voices, and it was a lot of good time.
He was very complimentary about the dub.
Yes, and also enjoyed us live tweeting, and sometimes it was a challenge. So like, someone would say something stupid, and then someone else would tweet it.
We were trying to one up each other at one point.
Yeah. We'll get back to that in a second. I just want to go over One Piece's ratings over the past 2 weeks. So on March 15th, episode 246. Wait, that does not seem right. That does not seem right at all. Sorry, 1 second, guys.
Really? But they still only have the 4Kids theme as the opening.
It's still
as a joke.
I know,
Okay,
but
sorry, we only have ratings for one of those weeks. So, ratings for episode 246. One Piece was at 1,158,000, which is hugely up from Thundercats. Take that, Thundercats. At 728,000. And we don't have the ratings for 247 yet because those will come out soon, hopefully on ToonamiFaithful.com. Probably by tomorrow. So, let's talk about these episodes.
yes.
Yeah, let's talk about it. You want to start?
Yeah, I wrote Lucci's a dick and his bird is too.
All right, let's go into context here.
Okay.
I'm
Lucci
looking at all my live tweets. I should probably put that into context as well.
Yeah, I'm doing the same here.
Lucci has transformed into his leopard form, his beefed up leopard form, and pretty much goes about beating the crap out of Luffy. Did he also send Zoro flying? No, like Kaku got the best of Zoro.
Kaku got the best of Zoro, yeah.
But I think Lucci also sent Zoro flying.
I think my favorite thing though is from Polly, where he asks, "What the hell's going on?" And then Lucci goes ahead and explains it, and he tells him to shut up.
Yes, I have answered the question. Shut off his mic.
But yeah, this is the first reveal of Lucci as a devil fruit user, and talks about it's more of a powered up Zoan, different from others we've in the past. Maybe just like unlocked, your full potential. And yeah, he's tough as hell.
Yeah, he's going to be a formidable foe, as you guys will see soon enough. So basically, Luffy and Zoro are sent flying, and that fucking wall.
and now CP9's going to burn Galileo down to the ground.
Yes, and I have, for some reason, the bird is nightmare fuel.
Yeah, that bird was like ready for that fire. He was like,
well, if we could jump ahead
this.
a little bit, when we get that awesome, it was an awesome panel in the manga. It's an awesome shot in the anime when the members of CP9 are standing on the rooftop looking at the Galileo building in flames, and it cuts to freaking Hattori with the flames in his eyes, like. I love that the Toonami Tumblr
GIF
posted that GIF, and then I proceeded to reblog it and say that pigeon is evil. I tell you, evil. And then Jose proceeded to post screen caps of the scene in the first Spider-Man movie. Deliver us from evil. And I was like, this is why I love these guys.
Yep. I was thinking about that the whole time. I'm just like, yes. Oh, it's perfect. I got to go find those screenshots. I scoured the internet and looking for them. I was looking for a GIF, actually, but I found the screenshot.
Finish it.
From evil.
His eyes. Those yellow eyes. Sorry.
Yeah, we're getting into the wrong recap here.
Yeah.
But then so CP9 kind of just skips amongst the rooftops looking for Frankie. I forget I think it then cut to Usopp and Frankie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And of course.
And we were drinking.
Yes. But it was kind of funny because we did interview Sites earlier that day, and so, he did make references to this, to this moment. Not exactly this episode, but references to this time Frankie and Usopp were in the little hideout.
Right.
So I thought, I'm like, oh, it's full circle today. So great interactions there. Frankie, strumming the guitar from time to time. Very comical. It gets much more serious in the next episode. And then later we cut to CP9 discovering the Frankie family, still looking for the Straw Hats. So Lucci dons like a little half mask and says, "Hello, I am not Lucci. Where is Frankie?"
Yeah, I wrote, "Who the fuck is the guy in the mask? I don't recognize him."
I just wrote,
And
why
his
do you
bird.
even need the mask?
Yeah, seriously, like what's with, like the bird is a dead giveaway.
I just like how CP9's like, we're gonna kill Iceberg and everyone because they can't know our identity, but we'll leave the Frankie family alive.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
Oh, but then again, he was wearing a mask. I think Oda kind of wrote himself out of them. Like, oh, well, he's wearing a mask, so he didn't have to kill them.
But at this point, Usopp is starting to repair the ship with nails and wood, and that'll kind of start taking us into the next episode with CP9 breathing down their necks on their way. Mm-hmm. This was a good episode. It was especially fun having Greg there, because Greg,
Yes.
I don't know how much of the dub he's seen, but like his comments on it were very positive. So take that, dub haters.
And I think it was one of the more unique live tweeting experiences I've had, where it was just you'd say something funny, and then Zach would tweet that line,
behalf.
and then like put your name next to it. It was just funny, and then it kind of became a race. But a lot of if you go back and check those tweets from that date, some of them were really funny. My personal favorite was when the Frankie family were talking. I'm like, oh yeah, that one Frankie family member with the pointy hair, he has the best voice. And Greg said, "Who, Kiev?" And I was like, "How do you know?" Wait, and that's not a joke. That's exactly how it was said. I was like, "How do you know that?" Wait,
I was like, never. I forgot who I was with.
Yeah. I remember the funny thing was, or sorry, no, I don't remember. I'm just looking at my tweets again. I'm just like, I asked, "What are you, a cop?" And I have no idea if that was actually a reference to anything.
If that was in context with the actual thing.
I'm sure it was I'm sure it was in context with something regarding Anime Boston. I just don't know if it was in context with One Piece.
I think I have one where when they were in disbelief that it was all these people were involved, and for some reason I have one. It had to be Bluno from the bar, care of Mike Lucas.
Yes, because we had a few others in the room too watching it with us, and no one was safe. Everyone's quotes were tweeted.
And alrighty, I think that brings us into the next episode, which is the man who is loved even by his ship, Usopp's Tears. And I really like this episode. This is again, Usopp he gets a lot of really good episodes during Water 7. Where he's fixing his ship, and Frankie's just kind of telling him like, hey, it's kind of pointless. But Usopp is like, no, I have a really strong bond with the ship, and they're like, the ship came alive to me. Like the spirit of the ship came to me and started fixing itself because it loved us that much, and even Frankie's like trying to tell him like, look, dude, this ship is dying. Gali La was not lying to you. And then Usopp, through just sheer like kind of losing his mind at this point, with people telling him that, beating the crap out of him to prove the point, like, dude, the ship is done. It's dying. Yeah. He breaks down and admits like, I know that already. I know, but I want it to go out better than this. It deserves better than how we're treating it. And Usopp's just being awesome.
But then he also admits that another reason why he just can't let it go is because he thinks the Mary spoke to him back in Skypiea. Mm-hmm. And this is a big reveal because this is a big callback to something that wasn't touched upon since when Usopp got up in the middle of the night to take a piss. And he saw like a little person on the ship and he freaked out. He never said anything about there being a voice or there being something said to him till this moment. And that's when it's revealed. It's like, don't worry, I'll carry you guys a little longer. So Usopp is carrying this huge amount of guilt that it feels like, since he feels like the Mary spoke to him, it's like, I can't just just destroy the Mary.
It can't go out like this.
Yeah, it spoke to me. It's alive or something.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. But then that leads to
the thing I'm going to mispronounce, the Klubbermon. Klubbermon?
Close. Klabautermon.
Klabautermon, thank you.
I must catch all the Klabautermon and become Royal Crown Klabautermon Master. Oh. Patrick Seitz actually favored that tweet, so I was just like, yeah. Sorry.
It's cool.
It's cool.
I'll never take pride in anything again.
You shouldn't.
Never again.
Ever.
But yeah, that explains how ships, if they're really cared for by their crew, it'll love you back. It'll love you back, and it'll kind of start, it kind of takes it appears as like a child or something.
With a little mallet.
I'm sorry, I haven't talked about Klabautermon too often because it really hasn't come back in the story again. And yeah, it kind of takes on a spirit, in the form of like a child with like a hammer and fixes itself and kind of gets like a second wind.
And, finally we hear some ringing at the door and it won't stop. And finally, the two ladies go and check it out. Kiwi and something.
Mozu.
Thank you.
Kiwi and something.
And I think it's Kiwi who ends up getting knocked back by.
It was Mozu first.
Damn it!
I can't tell you about Klabautermon, but I know which square sister got knocked back the farthest.
Just making sure.
But yeah, they get knocked back, and CP9's here to bust up the party, and that kind of leaves us off until the next episode.
It's like special delivery for Frankie. Pain.
or any other corny line someone could say.
We're here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of gum.
We're here to kill Iceberg and take Frankie, and I think we killed Iceberg. We think
we should have really checked on that.
But okay, let's just talk about these two episodes collectively. What did we think of them?
Really good. I mean, specifically last week's episode was the excellent one because Sunny is just crying and screaming his heart out as Usopp at this point, and it's kind of a joy to see Usopp on screen because he's going through so much every time he shows up. And Sunny is just playing it, beautifully. Like he's nailing all the subtleties, everything to the character. Yeah. So like right now it's kind of Usopp's show every time he shows up. But that all being said, I love Frankie and his cohorts, and I love the whole CP9 mystery getting revealed, and they're showing off their powers and showing off that, hey, we're forced to be reckoned with. Crocodile, pussy compared to us.
All right.
I mean, what could be said about Water 7? These episodes hasn't already been said. They're great, and kind of just now we know that Luffy and Zoro are out of commission at the moment. We know Usopp really doesn't stand a chance against CP9. We don't know how well Frankie will do. It's nothing but tension leading into this next episode.
Yeah, and I hope the ratings continue to go in the upward spiral that they've been going in, man, because these are amazingly good episodes. If you're following along in the story, like this is gold, and you guys are going to get some really good fights coming up.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil too much because it has been revealed to me that we do have some listeners that I think even at Boston, someone told me, yeah, I'm only, I guess I'm like, oh yeah, you're like in One Piece. Like, yeah. It's like, oh, it's like, are you up to the current arc? It's like, no. I'm like, oh, well, where are you up to right now? And he said, Water 7, CP9 was just revealed. I'm like, so the Toonami episodes, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
You listen to us?
It's really nice to know that there are people who just like don't always actively seek out their stuff and like probably even read the comic or whatever, but like to be like, I'm just like enjoying the ride as it's coming out on TV. I think that's kind of nice to hear.
And I absolutely respect anybody who does that.
Yeah, I've forgotten the fan that told me that. I forgot his name, and I do apologize. But he told me, he's like, oh yeah, when I found out that One Piece was coming back on Toonami, I borrowed all the DVD sets from my friend and watched it, and I was like, holy shit, you're one of the special ones. So without really spoiling what's coming next, next week's episode is, if you're a fan of the podcast, it's definitely one to check out. An old friend of ours will be on it, and definitely going to be worth checking out. It's a great episode.
And any more thoughts on these two episodes, or should we get on out of here?
I think it's all been said.
Yeah, I mean, can we fly to each other's houses and just live tweet from now on?
Well, I can come over to Doctor's house, or you can come over to mine.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Steve, how are you going to get here?
Well, maybe we could ask the fans to give us money to fly me to Miami every weekend.
Let's do it.
I'm sure they would totally appreciate and do that.
Totally, because they'd benefit so much.
In all honesty, I don't want to ask the fans for more money. Thank you guys for all the contributions.
We should play low for a while.
I'll take their money.
Like, you can go donate to Toonami Faithful. We could really use it. And Gintama, but, not the One Piece podcast. I think we're okay for now.
Well, I'm an artist. Yeah, come by my table and buy prints.
Absolutely do that. Because Steve, being serious, Steve is an absolutely talented artist, and I love his work.
Shut up.
No, it's true.
It's true.
Shut up.
Yeah. No, don't give me that. I love the JoJo print that you gave me. It was really awesome.
I love the bunny versus the robot.
Yes.
Which I did not buy. Oh, yeah.
I have that one, too. I still have it here, too.
Thank you.
I should probably buy that someday.
Well, we just started our next segment. It's the Steve Yurko art recap.
Yeah.
I'm here with Jose and Doctor.
He has a great piece coming up with that I've commissioned, and it's going to be awesome.
I think Jose might like Ghost in the Shell. I'm not sure.
I was curious because I saw him have 15 figures at one point in his hand.
Oh, and that's ironic because I saw him post 15 animated GIFs yesterday.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Didn't you just do like an AMV or something recently?
I did.
Holy crap. Jesus Christ, bro.
I needed, dude. You have to understand. I've been surrounded by One Piece stuff for so long. I was like, I need another franchise for a while, and so I went way overboard with Ghost in the Shell. I need another good franchise.
Oh, got him.
Got him.
Fairy Tail's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Should we go to the next segment?
No
Moving on.
comment. Moving on to the next segment. Are we all ready?
I'm
Yes.
excited and ready.
It's going to be exciting and amazing.
This is the Piece Together segment where we take your questions, comments, theories, and then try and remember what they were. Okay, why don't we start with Reddit? First one comes from Pook Yao. Granting that we'll have a One Piece movie this year, it seems like every 2 years we do. What do you think it'll be about? Will we get Avril Lavigne back?
I hope so.
No, I think this time we'll get Avril Lavigne and Nickelback.
No, I draw the line.
No, she did. I don't know if you know, Jose, but for One Piece Film Z, she did
the Nickelback cover, and it
Okay.
actually sounded way better than the original.
It did. That's the thing.
Because Nickelback is
Wasn't that
horrible.
Couldn't Make It as a Wise Man? That one.
No, it was the
Other-
How You Remind Me.
How You Remind Me? Yeah, it was.
They all
the
sound
original.
the same to me.
straw hat. Every time it makes me laugh.
Okay, I guess I did. Oh, what One Piece movie do you think? What do you think it'll be about? The next one, if we get one this year or next year.
I think it'll have something to do with Dressrosa. It seems like such a big.
No, I don't think they
I know
do
they're
those
going to
kind of
cover it in
movies
the
anymore.
anime, but like I feel like you could do like a side story incorporating a lot of elements from that. Because like obviously I don't know what the fuck's going on actually in Dressrosa, but like just hearing about it all the time, I'm just like, well, it seems like a really big story that you can pull a lot from, or like maybe do a what if.
They did that for Drum Island, but I don't
Yeah.
think they're doing those anymore. I feel like they've been moving in the opposite direction.
I don't know. It depends if Oda's writing it, obviously.
Well, I doubt he's doing that.
I mean, if not, it'd be kind of cool. Another what if scenario. What if things went wrong during Anus Lobby? I don't know. Anus Lobby. I said Anus Lobby.
That's the One Piece porn parody.
Water 7. Yeah. Ha! Water 7.
All right.
Oh man, just think of all the bad porn puns.
Oh God.
One penis. Hey. Grandpa time.
Oh, I don't want to be there.
Okay. Donnie V93 says, I could imagine that the state the Tontadas will build, the statue, I think they
The state.
That's what's written. The Tontadas will build of Usopp will sport that reaction face.
Oh, that would be great.
It
Poor
would be
Usopp.
That
awesome.
would be so good.
Next, no last name 100 says, we know Luffy will fight Doflamingo, but the important question is, who will fight Dellinger?
Good question. I don't know.
Goldberg.
Did you say Goldberg?
Whoopi Goldberg.
From the Mighty Ducks.
No, not Goldberg. Not Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg, and they'll fight over the center square.
Yeah.
That's where I belong.
Is that the answer
beat
to
him
this
with her-
question?
Numerous awards.
I would think Frankie, if he gets the strength back. I am shocked he got
I
that beaten.
don't feel like I think there's so many officers in the Don Quixote family that they're not going to be paired up with every single Straw Hat. I mean, I think just a lot of these officers are just going to be taken down by the countless amount of people that have been turned back from toys, and they're just going to riot.
What's crazy is we have two Straw Hats that are completely out of commission, essentially, at this point. We have Usopp and Frankie seem pretty damn out of commission.
Zoro's going to be fighting Pika. We know that. I think Diamante is going to be taken care of by Mr. Cravat and Rebecca.
Yeah, that's handled.
And Bartolomeo.
And Bartolomeo, who's pretty damn strong himself. We forget
Yeah,
that.
because sticks and stones don't break his barriers,
Yep.
but words do.
Just don't talk about how you killed his mom.
Justin K. Brown says, So I think that the people who watch Usopp's fight are going to think that he used Conqueror's Haki to defeat Sugar. She foamed at the mouth and fainted. Tinfoil hat theory. I like that. I like the way you're calling that theory. The Tata Babasco actually awakened Usopp's hidden Conqueror's Haki, fulfilling the lie he told the Tontatos earlier in the arc. Ooh, I kind of like that. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense, which is why it's a tinfoil hat theory. But
I have a dumb theory. Steven, you can go first though.
I was just gonna say that's a really good like fan fiction theory.
I do like
that.
My theory is stupid, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it because like when I was looking at those panels, you can see like it looks like the Tata Tabasco stuff like is coming off his breath, and so I just thought like he can maybe because she was really close to his face, so I just thought maybe he breathed it onto her and she was like, "Oh my God, why did I do this?" And she just kind of.
I thought it was just the face that. I think it was the face that did.
I think the face had a lot to do with it, but I think also the Tata Tabasco stuff. It's got to be so strong that if like someone were to yell right in your face, you'd probably get a good whiff of it.
It's amazing. At the beginning of this, we were saying that Tata Babasco wasn't going to work. Hey, ended up working, just not on the right person. He also said that, I don't know if anyone brought this up, but the giant bird thing that Colleen mentioned did happen. We did kind of laugh at that. Luffy rode one of the birds from Torino Kingdom on Shawbuddy on his way to the Sunny. Okay, so Typeset said, how do you feel about screen time?
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Zach. I have a delayed reaction to what you said. What is with that Colleen Clinkenbeard?
She's amazing at predicting stuff. I don't know how she did that.
She's like, all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. You know, she gets off the phone, and then like it just cuts to like just darkness, and you hear her voice. It's like, do you think they know? And she's like, they don't suspect a thing, Oda.
Mr. President.
Oh my God. Yeah, let's keep it up with the Metal Gear references.
Typeset said, how do you feel about screen time for each Straw Hat member?
They should have a lot.
No, how do you feel, I think, how it's been?
I think I think I've said this a bunch of times about Dressrosa. I do enjoy that all the characters are doing something. But then again, I guess that's kind of been the case for every arc, but it feels like everything the characters are invested in is very important to the story.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been getting screen time in accordance with, like how important what they're doing is. So like, for example, obviously we're not going to see Sanji and Nami and Chopper for a while, but when we do, it's just going to be them. They're going to be doing their own stuff, which is kind of exciting. But and like the longer this drags on, the more it almost feels like another Shabandi situation where it's just like, wow, we haven't seen these guys in like 6 months or something.
I think that's going to be the case too.
It'll be crazy when they come back.
I kind of just want to see. You see, if we have a side story movie, I think that would be a cool one with the twirly brow pirates. So using Jose's idea there,
but then that's like DBZ movie 11 with just Goten, Trunks, Krillin, and 18, and Mr. Satan.
I think it could,
which is kind of cool if you're a fan.
Yeah,
but
I'm a fan of that whole group.
But then you'll have like someone saying like, "They don't try."
Anyway, next question. My name is Asak Schrader. Says, who do you think will take down Treble now that there are hundreds of powerful toys turned human again? Did I just answer my own
toys that
he said? Did I just answer my own question, or will Treble run away, or will it perhaps be Robin?
I think Robin with the assist, but I think just think of who you got down there. You have Cavendish, you have all the Coliseum fighters who are pretty strong in their own in their own ways. They're just gonna overwhelm him, I think.
Next, some of these.
Steven, did you have something to say?
Oh, sorry.
No, I think Robin versus Treble outright is not really a fair fight for Robin. I think just from what we saw of him, like he just seems super powerful. So it does seem like it would require, kind of a gang up situation if it's just her.
We answered some of these questions, so I'm going to go through them. I'm going to skip those. I apologize for those who wrote in. Boolean Gatekeeper says, do you think that Mr. Cravat is trying to get Burgess to destroy the Coliseum on purpose so they'll fall into the factory when the floor breaks and maybe use the Mera no Mi to burn the orchard?
Oh, wow.
That's a really good theory. I like that.
I was about to say, I don't think Burgess is that smart. But...
No, it's Mr. Cravat is like, oh, let's lure Burgess to go crazy because we already know it's breaking, and that's
well. If we could go back, my memory's fuzzy on it, but Burgess was talking with Blackbeard, and I think they were talking about they mentioned Kuzan, but were they talking about someone else? They were talking about something very vaguely, and
yeah,
like I wonder
it
if
might be something we have to go back and look at.
Yeah.
Because hey, Blackbeard had a pretty elaborate plan during Marineford.
During
his whole
the
plan was
entire
like,
series.
Get this, I'll join the Warlords, and then I'll kill Whitebeard.
Well, it's that, look, I'll capture Luffy/Ace, bring him to the world government, join the Warlords because of that, then go into Impel Down with my Warlord status and wreck up the place and take a bunch of people, and then I'm going to go to Marineford and then steal Whitebeard's power.
And then I'll dress like a lady from high society and seduce a man and make him want to marry me.
Oh, Bugs Bunny.
God. Female Blackbeard. Darling, you look marvelous.
Next question comes from Pirate Bagel, who does confirm his name is inspired by Firecrouch. It looks like Usopp used the 100-ton hammer trick in his fight against Treble and Sugar. Do you think or hope this will be elaborated on in the anime?
I hope not, because I think what's so great about this whole thing is the whole time you're not seeing what's going on, so you think, oh, wow, they're having this huge battle, when it's just Usopp getting his ass beat the entire time. So I think for the anime to show him using all these things, you would see that he's struggling. It would break the illusion.
I have to also ask, this isn't a piece together, but what kind of noise do you want Usopp to make after the Tata Babasco? Like, should it be this inhuman, like, with like the deep track and the high pitched track at the same time?
I'm sure Kappei Yamaguchi will have something really awesome to do with that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then he'll say, "Top that, American voice actor," and Sonny Strait will be like, "Damn."
I'm just imagining like Oda texting Yamaguchi and being like, "Get ready, son, you son of a bitch." Like,
maybe he did something to him at a party or something. Snakebit 1995 says, "Do you think any crew members will come out of this arc, or are we going to stay the same?" I think new crew members. He means. I read it the first time as who will die. But I think the same.
yeah.
I don't think we're getting anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orlenius, this is the last Reddit question. I guess the theory that Sugar gained devil fruit powers at the time of Scarlet's death doesn't have a leg to stand on. Sorry, not sorry.
Hi-yo.
All right, let's go to Facebook where we have questions. First one is from Aaron. After the events of the last chapter, I believe Usopp the Great Liar will be a man whose lies become true. He will finally get his 8,000 followers, which we've been saying. And he also suggests we play Sugar Honey Honey.
Do.
Yeah, exactly. John says, crazy theory time. In the anime, it appears that King Elizabello's King Punch seems to have similar effects to Luffy's Gear Second. I think the super long warm-up is to get his blood pumping in a similar way that Luffy is able to do in an instant because of his rubber body. Ergo, perhaps Luffy can do the King Punch in Gear Second without the need for a super long warm-up.
Okay.
Thank you, Steven. Any other thoughts?
You started that sentence with "in the anime," so I automatically don't believe you.
Okay. Any others? None? Okay, this one comes from Jackie, from who you may know from that anime show. I've been watching One Piece for over 5 years now, and while I've had my ups and downs with taking breaks and then going back and marathoning the episodes, I've been stuck in Punk Hazard for what seems like forever. I can't seem to make myself watch it, and the more I find out about the new things happening, the more I want to just get past it all. Would you recommend that I push through it or just pick up at the same place in the manga to avoid all the nonsense that comes with the anime? Stay strong or move forward? What do you guys recommend?
It's kind of crazy that someone's complaining about
Punk Hazard.
Punk Hazard
After Fishman Island?
What did you just go through?
I think the fact that you know what's happening after Punk Hazard is definitely hindering your enjoyment of it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think because believe it or not, it took me years to catch up where the One Piece manga currently was, because I already knew everything that happened. So me like rereading everything, it
There's
took
no
me a while.
tension.
Yeah. It was kind of like, all right, well, it's Alabasta. I already know everything that happens in Alabasta. I don't really care. So it took me a long time to catch up with the manga. And I think that's the thing, because I knew what was going to happen. So there wasn't like oh my God. It's like, yeah, I've seen this already. So I think that's your problem right now. And hey, just marathon through it. Try to watch like 3 episodes in once, And I think when you watch 3 in a row, the pacing will feel a lot better. And towards the end of the Punk Hazard arc, gets really good.
Yes.
I have nothing but great things to say about some of those episodes, so it's worth it. And then Dressrosa has been freaking awesome so far. So
I would read the manga up to chapter 700 and pick up, I forget what episode in the anime. It's not that long ago. I think it's like 643 or 632 or something. I don't know, something like that. And pick up from there in Dressrosa, because Dressrosa has been great. And then if you want to catch up completely, go back to the manga again.
My little suggestion, because this just reminds me of Skypiea so much, because I had a similar experience where, like, I think you guys were telling me, like, oh, dude, wait till you get to Water 7, and I'm just like, I'm in Skypiea. You just kind of got to push through it. And I think it's
a tough slog, yeah.
I think once you, I think it's worth it to push through, because like you're just so much richer off or better off pushing through it. Yeah, you can always go to the manga, but I always feel like, yeah, I watched the whole anime. Hooray, go me.
And that's why Jose's still watching the anime.
That's why I'm still watching the anime. I'm way behind. I'm not even close to Punk Hazard.
You're
not even at Thriller Bark yet.
Well, it's not out yet. Hopefully soon. Speaking of Thriller Bark, Lawrence asked, with season 6 coming out soon, do you know which version of Bink's Sake will be sung in English? The Viz version, or another version. I don't know what the other version is.
I guess whatever Funimation writes, because they have to fit it to the lip flap.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be different from both because of the lip flap thing.
Wait, but Brook doesn't have lips.
Ooh.
Oh, so maybe not.
Because he's already dead. Sorry. Okay.
The jaw flap.
Tisk tisk.
So I guess we should get Steve. What's it called again?
And now, if y'all want us to answer some fan questions, give me a piece of the tweet.
Piece the
Use the tweet. Okay.
That was horrible
That was
timing.
terrible.
We'll have to take it. We got to answer the piece of the tweet.
Okay, so
What?
of course we got Piece the Tweet, where we take your questions on Twitter. You can follow us at One Piece Podcast. Cody, who cries more, Usopp or Chopper?
I think
I think Chopper. And Chopper's my
Yeah.
favorite character, but I think it's Chopper.
Yeah, Chopper definitely
Nothing
cries
wrong
more.
with crying. This manga recap,
No, yeah. Crying is completely warranted. This question really, the two people who would be able to answer this are not here. But, I'll ask it anyway. Have you guys ever tried watching One Piece while stoned? I was watching the latest episodes. It's amazing.
Yeah, we don't have a certain someone here.
And
to
another
ask.
certain someone.
I've been intoxicated and watched One Piece, and it was
Yeah.
great.
We were all
that's
pretty
my
drunk on
extent.
Saturday.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
it
that
was a
was
lot
good.
of fun to watch One Piece.
Not last Saturday, but at Anime Boston.
I've had a friend tell me that they were high watching One Piece, and I was like, oh wow, that must have been great.
Catherine says, who will finish off Doflamingo? Will it be Kyros or Luffy?
Who's the main character?
I have to agree with that.
It's not like
I wish it was Kyros, but
it's not like Wiper took out Eneru. You know,
It'll be one of the two.
What's going to happen to his leg? Is he going to have aged? Like, do you think he won't have?
Well, that's the
aged?
thing. Like, if he turns back to a human, is he going to just start bleeding again?
I was going to say that.
Right. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, what have I done?
Oh, turn me back.
Oh wow. That's the next question.
This is
Bendik
such a good idea
Johansson had
before.
that. Bendik said, "Will his leg still be bleeding, or has the bleeding stopped?" How is that going to work? Jesus, Steven knows the answer, but I'm not going to. Probably. Anyway, I'm sure he's not going to. No, I'm not sure about that anyway. William.
Oh, man. Oh God, I need a donor. And then that's when we get the return of, take my blood. It's F.
Take my effing blood. Take my
effing blood. It's Jinbei. In the
Jones.
clusterfuck of, hey, how many characters could we squeeze into this arc?
William asks, William, our news chief for the website, if you could send in a cover page request for One Piece that Oda would definitely draw, what would you send in?
I don't know. We've definitely been asked this before, and it's so random. I can't just say I've been thinking this.
Well, I guess it would be what Straw Hat with what animal doing what.
I just thought of something totally random.
Okay.
So I think it would be like Usopp drawing a reindeer and then Chopper being behind him like, hey, I'm a reindeer. Like, why did you draw me?
I like
Or
it.
something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really have any good ideas.
I
Okay.
think that would be kind
I
of...
feel like the last time we asked this, Jose was on, and Jose did have an answer.
That's also
Sorry.
possible.
I apologize for having answers.
You should be sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
ashamed.
Next question. Corey Barnes says, do you think it's possible for One Piece to have a faithful and respectful version edited to modern kids' television standards?
Like a 4 kids version, but
No, I
not
think-
done by 4 kids.
I wouldn't even say that. Like, I think he means, like, could Funimation's version be, edited for kids? I guess that would be...
It was.
I think you could.
You could, but it would be like, in terms of like from what we have now, it would be a ridiculous amount of work to like cut it and edit it just right so that you remove anything that is too extreme for that audience. And this is obviously a pipe dream that
Well,
we're
the
discussing.
network would probably pay for a lot of those edits, but my thing is just, it depends if they're going to allow guns. If
Can
guns
you,
are
like-
allowed, it's possible.
Basically, you could like look at the Orlong arc again. Can you make that work?
The thing is, I think it's totally, if, television standards don't exist like they do today, I think it's a very good show for kids, but it's...
The thing is,
That's what DVDs are for, and
it
hopefully one day
cannot be
Netflix.
played on a Saturday morning.
No.
That's
No, but I
just-
could.
Nope.
No, I could see it on like Nicktoons or something like that. I could totally see it there.
I could see it like on Cartoon Network with like an Adventure Time or something like that.
Yeah, if they allow guns though, that's the big the big problem in the show. I think is just guns.
But he's rubber. It doesn't even. Anyway.
But other people get shot and
What?
dead.
No, they'll die.
The thing is, it depends on the show. Like Batman got away with guns. Dragon Ball Z towards the later half got away with guns. So like, it depends if the network is willing to give One Piece the benefit of the doubt and let them have the guns, because the guns would be the most expensive thing to edit, because they show up all the time, especially in the first part of One Piece.
Yeah, they're definitely around more earlier, I think. Next question comes from Gwen. Do you think that there will be another Law versus Doflamingo, or just straight to Luffy versus Doflamingo? She says that she'd like to see Law's backstory.
Yeah, that's a good point. After the flashback in this chapter, it was sort of easy to look back and say, okay, well, I guess we figured out all the backstory stuff now, but we still haven't seen Law and Corazon, whatever went on there. I don't know. He seems like he's kind of out of commission right now. It's hard to see unless we're talking about like some time passing for Law to recover.
Okay, only a few more questions left. Ichiban Kenshin says, I have to say I really appreciated the Bartolomeo pun. Keep up the great work, Stephen. The pun master.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, it was good. I think the original line was something like, the literal line would have been something like, if you're just going to attack with words, what's my barrier for, or something like that. And I was just like, there's a sticks and stones thing in here somewhere. I can do this. And it worked out great. I will fit it in no matter what.
Okay, next, Matthew. Do you think Mr. Cravat will appear on a volume cover as Lucy, or once he's been revealed? And same goes for an anime intro. I think we'll see him as Lucy on the next cover. I think that's very likely, if anything.
Yeah, I could see that, definitely. I mean, he puts like 10 fucking people on the covers nowadays. So
10, like 50.
Yeah.
Get everyone on that cover.
Right.
I don't know if he'll be the centerpiece, but I think he'll be on it.
It'll be like, him sort of from the rear angle, like over the shoulder.
Like what Steve drew for his Dressrosa print, which you could find at steveyurko.tumblr.com or your store envy or whatever.
Woohoo!
G plug.
Kagehiza says, if Sugar touched Luffy, would the series end?
Shut up.
Why you?
Quiet you.
Did the podcast end when we got touched? Ash. That's a
show us.
That came out wrong.
Yes. Wait, would have hit it?
Zach, show us where on the Ultimate Warrior Wrestling Buddy he touched you.
Ash says, I don't know if you guys had brought it up yet, but what are your thoughts on Oda finishing fights off screen? I guess as a more general thing.
It's been happening a lot more lately. We discussed this, I think, back when Law got beat the first time on Greenbit. When kind of just like Fujitora like sitting on him. Or I think definitely it's alluding to his change of pace a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it could be a change of pace because he has so many more characters and there's more complicated connections between them that require, sort of combat or competition of some kind to be resolved in a faster way than, traditionally in the series. I think it's a totally valid, sort of artistic choice for him to do. And, when it's done right, I think it's really fascinating because it can also be a very kind of like an evocative thing. Like, oh my God, he got beat. How did that happen? Like,
true.
And then you have this sort of foreboding of like, we don't know how this happened. How did he beat him? What can this guy actually do? Sort of thing.
But here we kind of knew, Usopp just threw everything at him and it didn't work. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. In a general sense.
Right. No, I do. I agree. I think that's a good thing. Final question. Jackson says, my point of view on steak and salad. Salad is remembered otherwise. How would Riku recall Rebecca? I don't think it goes in that direction. Riku. How would Riku recall Rebecca? Sorry, I was thinking of Kiros recalling Rebecca.
Yeah.
I don't think... because Rebecca still exists. I just think they don't remember who Kiros was. What?
It just goes... Family equals dinner.
Well, but maybe what if what if both Kiros and Scarlet had been turned into twins? Then would he remember Rebecca?
I think he would still have.
I think he would still remember Rebecca, but I didn't say he didn't remember the meal. I said a meal with just salad is a lot different than a meal that has steak and salad.
You're my granddaughter, but
No, that's not what I'm just saying. He won't remember. He might
You're
have
not the best
motivation.
granddaughter I've ever had.
He doesn't remember.
No more grandpa time, please.
Steve, one more time.
One more time. What am I supposed to laugh?
Oh, never mind. No, the line I was going to ask. If
grandpa time.
There we go. If you have thoughts on the steak and salad theory, we still want them. So hashtag steak and salad. Keep that going. I love that hashtag. It just makes me so happy.
Not even close.
Let's get to the next segment. You guys ready?
Okay.
Someone say okay a little more.
Were we supposed to respond?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to go home.
You are a terrible host.
Okay.
This is a special recap of Anime Boston. We haven't done one of the con recaps. I'm always scared of doing them because we get off topic and talk about ridiculous things. But I think there was enough going on that we have a lot to talk about. So we had two really big events, and that was the One Piece podcast goes to Japan and the One Piece podcast panel. But I think what really made this weekend, and I hope we could talk about it more with Greg when I'm positive we'll talk about the convention more when Greg's available, is the fact that he was there. Greg was there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, was it Steve and I met him? Jose and Doc, you haven't met him. But how was the weekend? How was it meeting him? How was everything?
Well, I almost missed him at the airport. He almost walked out the wrong gate, and I had to yell, "Greg, Greg, Greg!" And thank God he recognized me. And it was so weird. It's like, I know this guy because I've been working with him now for 10 months or so. And this is the actual first time I've, in reality, met him. So it was strange and it was cool all at the same time meeting Greg for the first time because, it's like, we've worked together like pretty closely on OMPP Japan, and just to kind of be on the same wavelength as if not skipping a beat at all. We were just automatically comfortable with each other, which I think was really cool and a testament of how hard we worked on OMPP Japan, because we really did talk a lot.
Yeah, we did. About everything.
Yeah.
Doc, you also had, I guess before we get into the One Piece podcast stuff, you had a Gintama panel.
Yes, I did.
And you were around the convention on your own too.
I was around the convention for my own. Like, if you want to listen to what I did while I wasn't doing One Piece related stuff, you can go to gintamapodcast.com. We released a recap of Anime Boston, all the Gintama related things that we did. But
perfect. Yeah.
But yeah, so you can go to that. But it was kind of like you mentioned. Meeting Greg for the first time was like I only talked to him like on this show, so I was like kind of distant enough away from it, like for me to finally talk to I think the best, like, it's a good first impression where it's like, oh hey, you're the legend, Greg, and it's like, oh no, I'm a failure.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh
that let me do the other Metal Gear Solid reference of the freaking podcast, like, oh my God, you're a legend, I'm no hero. Just talking to Greg on codec.
Yeah, but like I think like it's one of those, like, once I got like that's like a very interesting first impression. I was like, okay, I think I can deal with this dude. So a great time.
That's the thing you'll learn about Greg. He's very dealable.
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 Yes.
Dealable.
So we had the One Piece podcast goes to Japan premiere, which we hyped the ever living hell out of. But it was a lot of fun, and Jose, Greg, and I were sat on stage, and I think Jose and I particularly were just watching Steve and Doc's reactions the entire time.
Yes.
I was actually just watching the whole audience. I even recorded the audience at some points because I really wanted to. I knew funny parts were coming up, and I'm like, please laugh, and you all did laugh. So I was like, yay! And I got it on camera. I'm happy.
The best was the bull pun.
Oh, okay. No spoilers, right?
No spoilers.
But
oh God, yeah, I totally hindered the experience of watching that for the first time.
What were this is going to sound really self-indulgent, but what were your guys' impressions of the movie?
I think my tweet about it was probably what it summed up everything, and I know it was retweeted. But
what was your tweet?
It was, you had to surgically remove the smile from my face. Oh. It was such a nice documentary. I really did enjoy it the entire time, laughing and just being like enthralled in what was going on.
My terrible acting, it was great.
Just looking at the sad state of Zach's eyes, it was fantastic.
I watched it again with Eddie.
These eyes.
And God, I had bags with bags and bags under my eyes.
But you were excited and ready.
I was both excited and ready. It was exciting
and phenomenal.
And phenomenal.
I like to meet someone that says, I'm excited. All right, you ready? No. I'm just too excited.
Steve, what were your thoughts? This was your first time seeing it too.
Well, I think like any film major or anyone else be like, here's the problems with this film. But so you got to look at it. It's like, dude, like 3 people made this thing. and it's on a grand scale too.
it is an accomplishment, honestly.
Yeah, it's, I think, just knowing that and just being there from day one, with just this idea and just seeing it before my eyes, not so much the final product, but practically the final version of it. I was just so impressed. I was just so happy. And yeah, it does come off a little self-indulgent, but I did have those thoughts. I'm like, I'm so glad that we did this. Because I think it's only just with One Piece, there's so much to enjoy, but now I feel like we're introducing something else to enjoy about One Piece, and I really hope as many people see it as possible.
To kind of bounce off your point there, I think that it's important to remember that, besides myself, the two other people who worked on this film were first timers. They'd never done any type of film production before. I wasn't there. I wasn't actually in Japan filming with these guys. So
that's for sure.
A lot of credit also goes to these guys. And obviously, we keep saying that 3 people worked on the movie. That's not entirely true. We had a lot of people contribute a lot of things to the movie. Obviously, me, Zach, and Greg were basically the core people working on the film and knew everything that was going on. But without Kadeshflo, without Hush, without I guess we can go ahead and spoil it now, but Tatum.
That's the first time we're talking about that on the show.
Yeah. Without Brandon, without everybody involved at Funimation and Viz and Shueisha and Toei, this film just isn't possible. This is a big collaborative effort, and all those people basically depended on 3 people to get this shit done.
Yep. So we also at Anime Boston got probably one of my favorite interviews we've ever done, and it was collaborative with the Toonami Faithful Podcast. An interview with Patrick Seitz.
Yep, that was our 2-camera setup that we like to do over at the Toonami Faithful Podcast. And, we've obviously collaborated together. I mean, I did the Ian Sinclair interview with you guys, but this time I actually got to sit in and
ask questions.
It's weird being in front of the camera when you're also setting it up.
I'm sorry, Jose.
Yep. And thank you, Doctor, for manning the cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Because Doctor helped out on all that stuff.
Yeah, that was like, despite I was in charge of my show, I had my own panels, all this stuff. Like, I was kind of being the One Piece gopher the entire time.
I'm sorry about that.
No, dude, it was kind of cool. Just like being like, okay, this is kind of cool. Just like I realized when I was doing my recap for my show, I realized trying to cut out all this stuff that I did that wasn't One Piece related. I had maybe my panel, and that's about it. And I had a meetup, but that's beside the point. But it was kind of cool, just hey, honestly, that was kind of more or less the goal. All right, let's hang out with these cool kids, and let's see what they do. And
dude, we had so much fun.
God.
I mean, this is probably for Jose and Zach, but the little 3 podcaster episode impromptu thing that we did was one of the highlights, I feel like, of the entire thing.
There's and that's one of them. There's so many moments from Anime Boston. I will definitely remember this con very fondly.
Oh yeah,
because it was exhausting.
The most exhausting convention I've ever. I got sick from exhaustion. I don't even think it was regular con sickness. I think
I didn't get sick, but I had to sleep for a whole week. I couldn't move.
Well, we also went to sleep every night at 3 and woke up every morning at 8.
Yeah, we were not smart kids.
No,
that was dumb.
That's how you do a con.
I want to touch on that little podcast thing because I know some of you have heard it by now, and that was really cool because we did that very impromptu right before the Patrick Seitz
if you can't tell, yeah,
it was.
It was a lot of fun though. So I would suggest people, if you're interested in podcasting or what goes behind podcasting, go to Special 11. We posted it last week.
Easily, I could have done another hour.
Oh yeah, at least.
Oh my god, it was so much fun. It's one of the few, because I don't go back and listen to myself on my own podcast, and when I'm on an episode of this podcast, I really don't go back and listen to it.
Right.
But that special that we did with Doctor and you, Zach, it's one of the few things I actually do go back and listen to because it was so much fun.
And ironically, it did have some audio issues because I edited and put it together while I was not in a completely right state of mind, but they're fixed.
And the funny
so
thing
check
is,
that
it
out.
was while you guys were talking about audio issues.
Yeah, that's the weirdest, funniest part of that entire thing.
You can tell
At
it's
first
an
I thought you guys were
impromptu
doing-
session.
I thought you guys were doing an impression of me roboting at first. I'm like, all right, these guys are dicks. And I'm like, oh, wait, they're actually roboting.
Well, because what happened is the microphone jacks, I guess, on the Zoom went down, and so you can tell I've never recorded a podcast on a Zoom like that before.
Yeah, this
so.
was our first
I
time
never
doing that.
knew that could happen.
Well, and
Learning experience for everybody.
if I could compliment being the outside guy listening to this podcast, I really enjoyed that episode. I thought
Awesome.
for something that was very impromptu, it just flowed so well. And
Dude,
it totally makes sense why the three of you guys are hosts of podcasts.
yeah, I think it's like I just love talking about myself.
Yeah, that's what it is. Right, Jose?
Yeah, I love to talk about myself all the time. And you guys check out this cool film I did? It's called OPP Japan. You should go fucking watch it.
Yeah, it was super, super good.
And we also
Please
had
compliment me more.
we had
You did a great job. Everything's okay, Jose.
you'll be okay.
We
Jose.
love you.
Aw.
It's not your fault.
The final panel we did at the convention was the One Piece podcast panel. We filled up the room, which made me so happy, and everyone else, I'm sure, happy. Jose, that was your first panel, I know.
That was technically the OPP Japan panel was my first panel.
That's true.
But the One Piece podcast panel, I consider actually breaking my panel cherry.
I was actually surprised we had Jose up there. I'm like, oh, Jose's going to be up here. All right. Okay.
It was like he doesn't
Trying to
belong.
see if you could catch up, Junior. So yeah, sugar has a power, and everyone loves their ability. Just and keep
Yeah, you
moving.
can. When you
Right,
guys
Jose?
see the video, I'll just be sitting there like drinking a lot of water.
I'm like, I want some of that
Shaking.
water. But that was an amazing panel. I'm excited to put it online. Greg really
Exciting
made that.
and amazing.
He made it both exciting and amazing. Anything else with the anime Boston you guys want to talk about?
I ran into a co-op.
You went
I think
to
I
a
told-
co-op?
Did you run
I
into
re-
a co-op?
I told Zach this story, but we had an inside joke going on the whole weekend called
Hold on. Should we explain the origins of Are You a Co-op or just leave it be?
I
like
guess
leave
I'll
it
explain
be.
it.
Fine.
Or leave it be.
I like leave it be.
I like leave it be.
I like if you could look it up and find exactly what we're making reference to.
Kudos.
Kudos, yeah. It's pretty. If you go back, you can find it.
Anyway, Jose, there is a story, right?
There is a story here. So we had an inside joke that we were just going around. Are you a cop? And it didn't die throughout the whole weekend.
No, it
Not
just
a
got
very-
funnier.
No.
It just got funnier, and
It shouldn't have, but it did.
it should have died. But I think because we wwere all exhausted and just tired, we're just like, we're going to keep this thing alive because we can't think of anything more clever. And as I'm walking out to go to, because I stayed over at Jim's place for one extra night because I didn't go back until Monday. As we're walking out of the convention forever, there was an Officer Jenny walking around, and I'm just like, "Are you a cop?" as loud as I can. And there's a real police officer standing in front of me giving me the dirtiest look. And I'm just like, "Jim, go, go, go." And
Cheese it.
yeah, just run.
Motherfucker asked me if I'm a co-op.
I'm
I
pretty
feel like-
sure that dude was going to beat my ass.
That'd be police brutality.
Yeah, that'd be.
That'd be co-op
Can't-
brutality.
Can't we all just get along?
I feel like Zach, I think he completely forgot our Saturday night.
Watching Toonami with Greg.
Before that, we saw
Oh, right.
we saw
that.
Jam Project,
yeah,
the
that's
individual
right.
performances
We saw We Are and We Go and Chala Headshot live.
by
And we had a
Hironobu
collective
Kageyama.
orgasm in our section.
Well, I knew Kitadani was most likely going to sing a One Piece song. I figured it was We Are. So when Kitadani came out, sings We Are, it was like awesome. Let me horribly try to sing this as much as possible before
Yeah,
I give
we
up
all
because
did
I don't
that.
know Japanese.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, okay. And so I'm like, all right. So that was our One Piece song. I don't think he's going to sing another one. And he was like, okay.
Do you like One Piece?
And it was like, there's One Piece New World. We go. And at this point, it's like fucking Austin won the title. I was like, oh my god.
Like that.
I
Like
kind of wish we had cameras on us because you could probably see. our
I
raging
think I
boners
may
from
have.
space.
Yeah.
dude, like you guys went to that. Like the thing is, you guys were there. I was having my panel at the exact same time,
Across the hall.
right across the aisle. But I went to the one on Friday, which is like all of their group jam project songs. And like, since I watch a lot of robot shows and they do a lot of songs for those, I was also Boner from Satellite, you could see.
Well, I had my friend Dan with us, and he knows a lot about Jam Project. He introduced me to some of the stuff, and he knew practically everything. So I was just like, he's excited. Okay, I guess we could be excited too. No, I did want to go into your. I was thinking about, maybe we should go in Doc's panel and kind of just sit in there. But like the thing is, I don't know jack shit about Gintama.
Yeah.
And I also felt like we would just be obnoxious. But we were leaving the concert, and I just look in the doorway, and you were playing clips, and I just saw like you had a good amount of people in there for a late night Saturday panel, and I was just like, just did the silent nod and just walked away.
I was gonna say that doesn't really translate on a podcast. But...
Yeah, like
that I know. What
that yes, but no, I was like, Doc's got this.
Yeah, it's that was a weird experience, which I talk about on my show. Which listen to that. It's like I shouldn't have been there. I'll just say that.
And around that time,
we did watch Toonami.
We did watch Toonami. All of us with our collective shirts on, and it was pretty awesome.
It was great. It was chilly in there, so I had to make sure.
It took me a second.
I had a really cool shirt. It was a Conan shirt.
I had a shirt on. I think it was white.
I think
no. Your shirt was black, dude.
My shirt was black.
Because I remember we took that picture of. Unfortunately, Doc wasn't there, but we took that picture of us together holding our drinks up.
Right.
We're both wearing black shirts.
I think it was blue, actually. It's the Galila shirt. I think it was blue.
Yeah, you're wearing Galila. I was wearing my hippo shirt.
Anyway, shirts aside.
Shirts are great.
We all love shirts, and we should all wear them whenever we can. But it was a very fun time at Anime Boston. I definitely want to go back next year. That was a crazy fun con, and it was just packed.
I think I've told people I have like a con fave 5, and that's definitely in my fave 5. That was so much fun.
It was a ton of fun. I met this artist named Steve Yurko. I paid him for a commission.
Did he ever give you that commission?
No.
Hey!
Awesome!
Hey, shut up.
I love you, Steve. Please take your time with it. I don't mind.
Hey, we asked you to do OPP Japan. It's not like you got it done in a day.
So we of course want to thank...
I should also mention, because I know a lot of our listeners came by my table too, and thank you. That was fun too. I know I wasn't with Zach and Jose and Doc and Greg all the time, but it wasn't a dull moment at my table either. I was having a blast, and I talked with a lot of you. And yeah, a lot of you guys are listeners, so you talked to me about One Piece, and some of you are like, so wrestling. And I'm like, yeah, wrestling. And just about anything else. And that was a treat. Thank you for stopping by to talk. Thank you for supporting my work. Really appreciate it. You guys are fucking awesome.
So we of course want to thank all of our fans who showed up to the panel, who showed up to the premiere, and even more. We also want to thank Anime Boston for having us, and I hope to do this again in the future. So we'll see you at the next con. Bye, everyone.
Which is just me.
Which is just Steve.
It'll be Anime Central. Yeah, I have a panel. Yeah, just I. So people are like, oh shit, I thought the guy in the pink hat was going to be here.
You can wear a pink hat.
You can wear a pink hat.
You can.
It's oh man.
Doesn't even have to be the same kind of pink hat.
It's just like
a pink baseball cap.
Yeah. It's like, oh God.
That's not the same hat at all. Why don't we round off the podcast? You guys ready?
Yep.
No.
This has been the unofficial One Piece podcast, episode 311 for the week of Monday, March 31st, 2014 / April 1st. So, did you guys enjoy the podcast today? Have a good time?
Well, I don't know. I haven't listened to it yet.
I had fun hosting a podcast that wasn't mine.
It's always fun to host. Take it from me. So on this episode, we had a manga recap, Toonami recaps, double Toonami recap. Next week, you may have noticed the anime recap is presumably missing from this episode, and that is because I was a little busy and we didn't really coordinate it well, and it's been kind of a crazy week and a half, 2 weeks. But we will have a marathon of anime episodes. Next week's going through, I think it's 636 through 638. This is not to say they're bad episodes. It's not like Fishman Island where we're like avoiding them. I think we've all seen them here, for those of us who are caught up. But it's just been kind of hectic. I think the manga chapter is a good thing to star in this episode anyway. Jose, you were on like the most spoilery episode we've done in a long time, like the entire time.
Is it really though?
Again, really, like I've edited a film all about One Piece that was way further ahead than I was. It really doesn't matter anymore.
Speaking of, One Piece Podcast goes to Japan. We did premiere. We talked a little bit about that. What is the future for that film? From what
Online, we're figuring that out still. We hope to have a response from our friends over at Toei and Shueisha soon. We do have to rejigger some things and correct some stuff, but
good Futurama term.
Yep. And hopefully that'll be out very soon. We're trying to get it out as soon as possible, but I'd like to remind everybody, 3 people working on this.
And 1 doing most of the work.
Yeah.
We're aiming for sometime next month, but keep an eye out on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. We will hype the hell out of it. Don't worry.
When we have a date, you will know.
We will yell it on the mountaintops.
I will get on top of my roof and yell it. I will even record it as proof.
It seems dangerous.
Oh, that's on the podcast now. That's in writing.
That's going to happen.
It's an audio.
It's going to be canon now.
And by house, I mean like my little dollhouse.
Do you have a dollhouse?
No. No, I have to go buy one.
Oh, no. What have you got yourself into?
Digging that hole.
Probably going to crush the damn thing.
Since we've been getting a lot of questions, I do want to remind people of a few key facts about the film. The running time is first going to, I think it's around an hour 40, an hour 50, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
It might be a little less when it finally comes out.
Yeah, we're cutting out a little bit of the fat because we could
always put them as deleted scenes. I mean,
yeah, and Anime Boston was kind of our testing ground, so
we know what works, what doesn't, which was good.
Yeah.
So if you saw Anime Boston, it will probably be it'll be a slightly slimmer, more in shape version of the film.
Yeah. We're sending it to the gym.
We're sending it to the gym, but it will be free. It will be free. I want to emphasize that. It will be free. It will be online. There will be no physical distribution because it will be on the internet.
It will be free. Unless you paid for it.
Free.
No, it will be free. Don't listen to Steve.
And what was the line you used during the panel? Don't pirate the free movie.
Don't pirate the free movie. That's also if you can not do that.
Yeah, we really appreciate that.
We still don't know what regions it will be available in. We will try and get it available in as many places as we possibly can. We obviously want everyone to see it. Again, it's a free movie. There's no reason we wouldn't want you to see it, but we have to. There will be certain restrictions. I'm hoping that there won't be many, but just so you don't yell at us later, we want it to show everywhere. That's just not how life works, unfortunately. So it will be what it will be, and for those, I'm hoping as many people as possible out there will get to see it. I hope you all enjoy it. We put Jose especially put heart and soul into this movie, and Greg, of course. So I hope you guys enjoy that when it comes out. Steve, first off, how could the good people out there contact us?
Well, they could go to our website. That's onepiecepodcast.com. Subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. Follow us on all the great social media sites. Facebook.com/OnePiecePodcast. Twitter.com/OnePiecePodcast. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. OnePiecePodcast.tumblr.com. I know a lot of you sending questions, and
I think Steve, would you be up for answering them? I know you're on Tumblr
considering I'm used to it now. Getting
wow, you're so popular.
I don't know how many freaking questions I got on my Tumblr, and I don't know if some of you guys were listeners. Thank you. That got me through that week. I was having fun.
That's why I like the Ask FM thing too. It's been getting me through.
I think if I know some of you have been sending us questions there, and sometimes we run out of time and we don't have enough time to ask them on the show. So I might just start answering them on Tumblr. If you just go on the Tumblr page, there should be an Ask button somewhere.
SteveYurko.tumblr.com. Anyway, more One Piece podcast.
The what?
What?
The what? We're on Stitcher Radio, of course.
iTunes.
I said iTunes.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
what
I
else
did.
then?
I said Facebook. I said Twitter.
We're on Pocket Casts.
Pocket Cast.
For our
Of
Pocket
course.
Cast. That's a new one.
Of course.
Check us out there.
We're also on YouTube, where we'll upload things from time to time, mainly past episodes and some other things, like a trailer for OPP
I
Japan.
think we'll probably have some stuff from Anime Boston on there soon.
We did. Yeah, we did record some stuff. Hopefully,
I'm not sure which channel that's actually going on yet.
hopefully we'll get Jose.
Oh yeah, that's true because we worked on it together.
Back in the dungeon working on that.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
We'll
a
do
joint
rock paper
venture.
scissors, right? That's how we solve most of the. Greg just had everyone do Jonkin every time. So yeah, and
there's also, of course, the phone number.
Oh right, the phone number 347-497 Maji.
Maji.
That phone number again is 347-497-6254. Call
anytime.
With your questions, comments, theories, suggestions, and so forth and so on. Let's just go through everyone else who's here. Jose, you have a podcast. You're back on the podcast. You want to talk a little bit about it?
I'm back to hosting the Toonami Faithful Podcast, which you can find on podcast.toonamifaithful.com. So happy to be back. We have a lot of stuff coming up, including this May. We have 2 big events coming up. We have MomoCon coming up, which is going to have the Toonami panel. We're going to bring that to you guys just like we did last year, and hopefully get some interviews with the Toonami staff, and we'll ask all your One Piece questions too. If you want us to, just send them in. And we also, in May, we also have, it's the 25th anniversary of Ghost in the Shell. We are going to try to get as many cool people who worked on the franchise as possible, really go in depth with the with a look back on the 25 years of the franchise.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. And
that's about it.
And Doctor?
Let's see. I have the Ask Backwards Anime Podcast over at SSAA Podcast.com. Jessica Gintama Podcast over at GintamaPodcast.com. Released our Anime Boston little recappy thing, mainly focused on my panel and other such stuff. But yeah, stuff I'm doing. I have to edit things now and get back on track.
Good luck. Steven.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter at Translatosaurus. I've really been lax on that. I have to figure out something good to tweet about, because it's kind of hard to talk about stuff that you're working on that is either not out yet or no one has any idea what it is. So hopefully I'll be more active soon. But yeah, you can, and of course you can ask me questions there at any time, and I will answer.
It's great to be back. It's great to have all you guys back. It's great to talk to you again, Steven. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, I wish I was there.
I know. It would have been
like a great
crazy.
It was a lot of fun, and thank you again for translating our whole movie.
Right, that.
Yeah. It turned out great. I watched it at home on the file.
Awesome.
Yep, we got to fix that file.
So we'll be back next week. No more breaks for a little while. So my name is Zach.
And my name is Steve.
We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And Zach,
Yes.
happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
No one cares.
Oh,
April Fool's, dick.
That is the dickest move ever.
such a dick.
Crazy rainbow さ Twinkle twinkle rainbow さ コバルトブルーな色を重ねていこう Crazy crazy rainbow さ Twinkle twinkle rainbow さ 瞳に映った悲しいリアルを壊せぬくもり月の羽をあげようシュールなだってほしい心から歌うのさ
So whenever you're ready, host.
This is the unofficial One Piece podcast, episode 311. Let me try that one more time.
311.
311. Thank you. This is the unofficial One Piece podcast, episode 311 for trying to do it like my podcast.
Sorry, for the week of March 31st.
Is it March or April? I don't even know anymore.
This is the manga recap for chapter 7440. Let me do it one more time. This is the manga recap.
No, do it one more time. Do it one more time.
This is the manga recap for
for Chinchilla. Number 742.
Why am I fucking this up so badly?
I don't know.
So much pressure.
You're the host. You really should know how to do this.
I know.